Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Baltimore Orioles versus the Seattle Mariners. First pitch is going to be here in about 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and I'll get into the starting lineups. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Tuesday. Let's go Mariners. And on the thumb, on the left, we have Gunnar Henderson. And on the right, Julio Rodriguez. And let's get into the starting lineup first for your visiting Baltimore Orioles. These guys are the real deal, just like the Yankees. It might be one of those two teams that ends up in the World Series and representing the American League. But you can't forget about the Guardians, the Mariners, the Royals, as well as the Twins. Let's go. Leading off for the Orioles, playing shortstop, Gunnar Henderson. Batting second, catching tonight for Baltimore, Adley Rutschman. And it's very rare to have two young players like Gunnar and Adley that you can actually build a team around, and that's why the Orioles are so freaking good. I see you. Batting third, playing first base, Ryan O'Hearn. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, right fielder, Anthony Santander. Batting fifth, DHing tonight for the Orioles, Eston Kierstad. Batting sixth, playing third base tonight, Jordan Westberg. Batting seventh, playing left field for the O's, Colton Cowser. Batting eighth, playing center field, Cedric Mullins. And batting ninth, playing second base for the Orioles, Jorge Mateo. And on the mound for Baltimore with a 9-3 record, an ERA of 3.72, one of the best in the American League and overall in the Major League Baseball rankings, Grayson Rodriguez. This one is going to be very, very tough. Hopefully the Mariners can win 2 out of 3, but it might end up being 1 out of 3, and hopefully we don't get swept. Again, we haven't been swept at all this year, but if we were, it would be to a team like this. They are very, very good. Now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Tridents up, baby. Let's go. We're going to need you. Let's go, J.P. Batting in the 2-hole, first baseman, Ty France. And hopefully by putting you in the 2-hole, you're not going to hit into a bunch of double plays tonight, because if you do, this will be the last time we see Ty France in the 2-hole. Batting third, playing left field, should be the everyday left fielder, Luke Raley. And we're going to need some good Luke Raley here in this series if we want to be able to win 2 out of 3, or at least try to compete with this Baltimore Oriole team. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching tonight for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting fifth, playing second base, should be Ryan Bliss, but I guess we'll take it for now, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, playing right field this evening, Dominic Canzone. And batting in the 7-hole for the first time in his career. Sometimes you need to get punished when you're not playing well, and hopefully this will motivate Julio to get higher up in the batting order, and we've seen him bat at 1, we've seen him bat at 2, we've seen him bat at 3, as well as 6. This will be the first time he's this low in the order, but I think he deserves it. He needs to be able to find some kind of motivation to be able to get better. Julio Rodriguez. And hopefully with Julio hitting in the 7 hole, that'll help out the 8 and the 9 hole hitters tonight. Batting 8th, DHing tonight for the Mariners, and batting 9th, playing 3rd base for Seattle, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. And we've seen Rojas bat in the 1 and 2 hole, but since JP back, obviously from the injury about a month ago, they moved JP into his solidified role. Rojas can be played at the 1, the 2, or at the 9, even the 8 if they want to put him in that position. But remember this, when Josh Hollywood Rojas was batting in the 9 hole at the beginning of the year, he was one of the only Seattle Mariners to crack the 300 batting average. He was batting 300 to 350 in the 9 hole. Hopefully he can get back to his former ways at the beginning of the season. And on the mound for the Mariners, one of our aces, 7-5 record with an ERA of 3.35. It is George Kirby. Let's go, baby. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are things that a lot of people are going through right now or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping a little bit into the darkness, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. Exercise, eat a little bit healthier, listen to music. Just doing those 3 basic things, if you're not doing them right now, you'd be really surprised if you end up putting a little bit of effort. You can come out the other end a lot faster and you can win the day. Big facts. Let's go, baby. This is one of the best series in baseball. Baltimore Orioles, Seattle Mariners. We're going to get first pitch going here in about 3 minutes. 53-31, 24-14 away for the Baltimore Orioles. They are sitting at the top of the division. They're in the AL East, barely over the New York Yankees, and the Seattle Mariners, 47-39. We're first in the AL West. We did have 10, 11 games above 500, but again, the road trip hasn't really been too kind to us as of late, and we're just trying to get back on track here at home. Let's go, baby. Let's go, M's, baby. Let's get it. DXPO in the building. A's, I'm early for once. Also, the Kraken are being productive this offseason. You're telling me, man. I was wondering with the new regime after Hack ended up getting the exit, what were they going to do? Were they going to be buyers? Were they going to be sellers? Were they going to go through the draft only? And to a lot of people's surprise, they have been making not only moves, but big moves. And unfortunately, some of the mid-level, lower-level guys have ended up, getting released or signing with new teams because of salary. And they're also looking for the salary of some of their guys that are already on the roster now for next year. But the guys that we ended up bringing in, I'm really liking the movement. And it's very rare to see the Kraken so involved in this kind of, open period to be able to sign players. And I'm liking it, man. I think that, we'll still have to see the chemistry and the continuity. We got a brand new, obviously head coach there as well. And we'll see how everything has to flow together. But I'm very excited to see what the Kraken can bring this next season. And with the moves that we brought in, with some pretty big name guys, and I think we had a pretty decent draft as well, there's going to be a good chance that we should be able to compete, hopefully, for one of the playoff spots going into next year. And if we don't make it next year, you would have to believe that they would make it the following year. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it seems like they're going to be better than last year, and that's all you can ask, obviously, if you're trying to move into a positive direction of being a team that makes the playoffs almost every single year. Kraken, I see you in the building. $5 holla. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang, bang, $5 holla. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you, whether that ends up being Kraken or Mariners. I got you. Appreciate you. Daniel in the building. What's good? Megan in the building. Migraine still around. Hey, I appreciate that. You're always coming through and showing love and supporting. And you and me are big Kraken fans, so obviously this is a kind of a fun last couple days, but also with some of the lower level guys, signing to other teams, it kind of feels a little weird, especially when you kind of have this love for certain types of players, even if they're not top tier, if they're not Bjorkstrand or Matty Beniers, that's fine. We still have love for everyone on the roster, whether it's the third goalie in net, or it's one of the guys that's a defenseman that barely gets any playing time, or a center or a forward. So I know those are things that are going to be kind of tough, for a few days. But looking at the names that we actually brought in, considered, and comparing it to the people that we had to let go and have to, have those players sign with new teams, I would say that we came out on the winning end, with the draft and with the free agency so far. So I'm very excited to see where this team is going to move forward. And it looks like, they're trying to make some moves to show that, hey, we can be a playoff team. And I'm hoping that we will be for many, many years to come. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang, $20 holla. Let me know what you want to do before you end up getting, if you have the migraine a little bit and you got to dip out early, let me know, and I got you. Appreciate you. Captain Oreo in the building. What's good? Is there a little something for all your troubles? Hey, let's go. And I grind it out. I got a lot of bills to pay, so it really means a lot. Captain Oreo with a 7. Thank you, guys. 3 of you coming up big early before the game starts. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. And for a lot of y'all know, I do this full time, so this isn't like a part-time gig. So every dollar counts, every like counts, every share counts, everything counts, every sub counts. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. DXPO, Captain Oreo, and Megan. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos, and I got you. Let's go. Sarah in the building. What's good? I think the main reason that they wanted to do it is because they want to score, and that was a big problem. We obviously need a little bit more consistency in net. And I agree, we do need defensemen, right? But obviously, if you can have high-profile centers, and forwards that I can actually get the puck in the net, we can eventually, over time, start collecting defensemen in the draft and in free agency, right? And again, they're making moves a little bit of everywhere. If you actually look at the draft and look at all the players that we brought in, we've kind of sprinkled in a little bit of everything, a little bit of centers, a little bit of forwards, a little bit of defensemen, even getting a new goalie in net, to compete with the ones that we have. Obviously, Dredge, moving on, Tomas Tata moving on, and a few others, Dumoulin, and that kind of sucks. But for the names that we ended up bringing in, we have someone that has Stanley Cup final experience. Almost every single year, we're bringing in at least 1 or 2 guys that have either gone to the Stanley Cup final or won it all, and I like that. So I really like the direction of where we're going, and it looks like we're going up, up, up. Matt in the building. What's good? Let's go, baby. We're at 32, 68 to go. Let's get it. Happy birthday, brother. Zay in the building. What's good? Let's go. All right, I got you. Yeah, but do we actually feel comfortable with the centers and the people that we have? It's always good to be able to bring in more individuals that can take over each line. If we only have like 1 center out of 4 lines that we really feel confident in being able to get goals, game in and game out, I don't think it is a problem one bit. Do we need more defensemen? Yes, we do. But again, we have many years to be able to build this team. We're brand new. We've only been in existence for a couple years. So again, each year is going to be a little bit different. This year, heavy on the centers, maybe not as much on the wingers and the goalies and the defensemen. But maybe next year it'll flip. And maybe next year they'll focus more on defensemen, less on centers because we got them this year. And we just have to be able to see how it all plays out. But I like the way that this regime is doing things so far. And hopefully it ends up working out for the Kraken moving forward. Let's go. Top of the first, Gunnar Henderson in the box on a 1-2 count. Let's go, baby. And obviously with Grubauer and Decord, they had their moments, but also there was times where they didn't look that good either. So again, I was mentioning even last year, in the next 5 to 10 years, it wouldn't shock me if they start going for, goalies here and there, either in the draft or free agency, just to try to be able to get, that solid piece. Boom, got him. Let's go. Adley Rushman up next. Gunnar Henderson, sit down. I like that. Nice job by George Kirby right out of the gates. Let's go. And hopefully George Kirby can get 7 to 10 Ks to give us a chance here tonight. And if he doesn't get 7 to 10, hopefully 4 to 6. And that'll be good enough for us to be able to get the victory. It's going to be tough here tonight. Gunnar Henderson, all-star, going to be in the home run derby. Absolute stud. Next up from Oregon, catcher Adley Rushman. And again, it's very rare where you have a young up-and-coming team that's got 2 guys that you can build a franchise around, 1 in Gunnar Henderson and 2 in Adley Rushman. This team is the real deal Holyfield, and hopefully we can minimize the damage that Gunnar and Adley will do to the Mariners. Let's go. Little chopper, Rojas. Hi, France. There we go, 2 away. Odin in the building. What's good? But I was a little shocked with some of the bigger name players that the Kraken ended up getting and how those individuals, really felt loved and wanted. And that's why they signed with Seattle. And we ended up getting a few long-term deals done, not for like a couple years, like, 2 or 3 or 4, but a couple of the deals from the big name guys were like 7 years. So that's a nice sign. Now, will they play all 7 years in Seattle? We don't know. But, to give a 7-year deal out, to a couple of these new studs coming in, to give us some stability. I like that. Popped up, Ryan O'Hearn, 3 up and 3 down, baby. Great inning. Gunnar Henderson, see you later. Adley Rushman, see you later. Ryan O'Hearn, see you later. Nice job by George Kirby. Let's go. But at least someone in the Pacific Northwest is spending money. We already know with like the Blazers and the Mariners. Obviously, the Sonics will be back here in a couple years, and hopefully they'll spend money. But a lot of the teams in the Pacific Northwest, it seems like, are a little stingy with the pocketbook. So to be able to dish out the dollars and to bring in a few individuals to the Kraken to make them better, pleasantly surprised. And again, I think a lot of Kraken fans, when they opened up social media within the last couple days after the draft, it was kind of a nice welcoming surprise on the timeline. I was like, wow, really? And again, we don't know if these guys are going to pan out. It's too early to say that, but based on what they have done on previous teams, it seems like we ended up getting some real good character guys, and that's really what it's about. And being able to make this team molded into some type of playoff-worthy team year in and year out. So I like what I see. Let's go. Leading off for the Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Batting in the 2-hole, first baseman Ty France. And batting third, left fielder Luke Raley. See if I can squeeze in a couple photos here real quick. Get a couple Mariner Mooses out of the way. We'll keep them in the bucket. They'll get popped up here and there. Got to get Maurice up there early and often. Appreciate you, DXBO, Captain Oreo, and Megan. Appreciate you very much. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. If you guys have a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid and like and retweet the stream. It'll help us get more individuals here, not only on the Twitter/X side, but on the YouTube channel side as well. It'd be greatly appreciated. And shout out to the 4 individuals that have done that already. Sarah, Megan, True North Trident, and Matt. Thank you to the 4 of you very, very much. And let's try to get to 20 likes within the first hour. And we're going to shoot for 30 to 50 within the stream. So if you are in the room right now and haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We just hit double digits. We're at 10. We got 19 in the room. Now we're at 12. There's 7 of y'all that haven't done it just yet, but hopefully you will here in the next few minutes. And then we can get to that 20 number and then move to 30. Let's go. 2-0 pitch to J.P. Crawford in there for a strike, 2-1 count. Two-one pitch. Pitch is outside, but called with a strike right on the corner of the zone there, supposedly. Come on, JP. Chop foul, 2-2 count. I mean, I think the Seahawks are going to spend money no matter what. You know, that's like the one organization, you know, out of all the teams that actually spends money. Blazers, Mariners, and obviously up to that point, JP, back to the warning track. Caught, one away. You know, but I feel like, you know, with the Kraken, they're so new, you know, we didn't really know if they were really going to be buyers, you know, or if they were just going to try to build it through the draft and just try to work with the guys that they had. So I think that with the Seahawks, you're going to see them spend money. Sometimes they're going to spend more money than expected. Sometimes just about what you thought, and then they'll build within the draft like most teams. But I think with the Kraken, I don't know, man. I was really surprised that they ended up grabbing, you know, as many players as they did, and high-profile players at that, you know, with long-term deals. That was shocking to me. So hopefully that's going to be a part of the new regime moving forward. Ty France, 2 away. Next up, left fielder, Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We got 44 in the building. Let's go. Pitch on the corner for a strike. 0-1 count. Let's go, Luke. We're going to need a big series out of you. 0-1 pitch to Raley. Top behind the plate. Behind in the count 0-2. Go, Luke. One thing about Luke Raley, you know, he'll always play tough and always hustle no matter what. Every single play. 0-2 pitch from Rodriguez to Raley. Got him. And again, Rodriguez is lethal. 9-3 record with a 3.72 ERA. So there's a chance that the Mariners won't have really a whole lot of hits or runs until the 7th inning. And I'm hoping, you know, the 7th, 8th, and 9th are going to be good for us, which they typically are. The 7th inning is our best inning out of all 9 innings throughout a game. But, you know, when you have a pitcher like Grayson, it's going to be very difficult to see what we can be able to get on him. And hopefully we'll be able to get at least a couple hits and runs before he gets pulled in the 6th. And if we can do some damage to him prior to that and have him go out in the 4th or the 5th, that would be ideal. But I don't think that's going to happen. 9-3 record, 3.72 ERA, Grayson Rodriguez. 1K apiece so far. See if I can get a few more photos here plugged in. End of the 1st inning. We're knotted up here at 0. Next up for Baltimore, right fielder Anthony Santander. Batting in the 5-hole, DHing Heston Kierstad. And batting in the 6-hole, third baseman Jordan Westberg. Picture of Santander. There we go. Bark at the park, baby. Let's go, George. Top of the 2nd, 0-0. Orioles and Mariners. 2 of the top 6 teams in the American League. See if I can squeeze these in here real quick. Santander. Top of the 2nd, 1-0 count. Popped up. Behind the plate, foul. Appreciate you. I'll go in for the rest of the photos here in just a second. Santander popped up. Full speed in there for Julio, but it drops right in front of him for a base hit for Anthony. First hit of the ball game for Santander. Next up, DHing for Baltimore, Heston Kjerstad. Let him know. Big swing and a miss on Kjerstad. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch to Kjerstad. Chops that one foul. Behind in the count 0-2. Miles in the building. What's good? Big swing and a miss. This is the good George Kirby, baby. There we go. Nice job, George. If George can get 1 or 2 strikeouts every inning, obviously that's going to bode well for us, even if he only ends up with 4 to 7 strikeouts, throughout the game, just to be able to minimize the damage with this team. And again, things haven't been really too good for the Mariners as of late. We had a horrible road trip, at home. It's been a little rough lately, and we had a nice little lead of 10, 11 games on the Astros and Rangers, and now it's only about 4 or 5 games. So, again, we really need to see what we can do in these next 3 series. We got the Orioles, 3 of them here at home today, tomorrow, and then obviously on Thursday. Then we got the Toronto Blue Jays, and then I believe after that, the San Diego Padres. So hopefully we can beat up on the Blue Jays and Padres, and if we get lucky, we might be able to win 2 out of 3 of this particular series. Got him! What a double play. Realistically, 1 out of 3 would be more realistic for the Mariners against the Orioles, but if we get lucky and we win this game, we might be able to go 2 out of 3. Let's go. DXPO, you have any individual that you want? I know Captain Oreo wanted the Mariner Moose. Anything that you want photo-wise, let me know. Favorite player doesn't have to be Mariners or Orioles. It could be whatever you want. Let me know, and I got you. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Cal's that one back. 0-1 count. Let's go, Cal. Let's get that batting average up. 202 average, 14 homers, and 50 ribbies here in 2024. Rodriguez is going to be tough. We got to find ways to either get a cheap home run or consecutive hits back to back to back to be able to make him pay. Raleigh pops up. Should be a routine play for the Orioles. You got 3 Orioles converting. Oh! Wow, that was close. 3 Orioles converging together, Cowser and company, and luckily they did not run into each other. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, here in the bottom of the second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Pitch inside, 1-1 count. Two-one count from Rodriguez to Polanco. Bottom of the second, 0-0. Orioles and Mariners. Let's go, baby. 2-1 pitch from Rodriguez to Polanco. Big swing and a miss. 2-2 count. Come on, Polo. Got to be batting above 200, my guy. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Let's try to get to 20 likes within the first hour, and then we can get to 30 to 50 by the time the stream ends. Pitch is high. Got him. All right, we're at 17. 25 in the room on the YouTube side. Another 25 roughly on the Twitter/X. Again, if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We need 3 more out of the 8 that are in the room to smash that like button, and we'll be at 20. Appreciate y'all. Vince Dunn, okay. Canzone takes the strike. Down the middle, 0-1 count. Big swing and a miss. Yeah, I would assume that Dallas, Vegas, and, obviously with the Avs in the playoffs, when we beat them in, Game 7, then lost to Dallas the following, and, Vegas is always going to be great, so I would agree with that as well. Dallas, I'm not really sure if we have one that's like, normally in sports there's like that one, but whoever it is, I'm not really sure if we have a heated rivalry with any of those 3 teams. It seems like when other teams do something dirty to us, it's not those 3 teams. Sometimes, those players will, but sometimes it ends up being like one of those rando teams that ends up being cheap towards us, and we, have to get payback later if they end up doing a cheap shot or whatnot. But yeah, I would agree with those 3 as well. Not really sure if one has priority over the others, but I would say that those would probably be the 3, with Dallas and Vegas and Colorado. But it doesn't really feel like a heated, type of rivalry yet. As the years go on and more when we play each other in the playoffs, and if crazy shit happens, then it'll build more of a rivalry, and we'll see if there's another team that will emerge. But I would probably agree with that those 3 for now. Dredge, Tata Sauce, little Vince Dunn. Appreciate you guys. Any other photos from the people that donated from Oreo, Captain, DXPO, and Megan? Let me know if there's anything else photo-wise as we're going throughout the broadcast, and I got you. Top of the third, 0-0, George Kirby wheeling and dealing. Next up is Colton Cowser. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's go, baby. Try to get to 100 in the donos, and let's get to 50 likes. Let's go. Cowser, line drive, throw to first. One away. And the last three streams versus the Minnesota Twins at home, we got 50, 53, and 58. So we're definitely going in the right direction with the like. Oh, I know that's what he's going to want to see. Top of the third, 0-0, Mariners and Orioles. Next up is Cedric Mullins. Chopper towards first, foul. Top of the third, 0-0, O's and M's. Oh, one pitch. Chopper towards foul. Territory towards first. 0-2 count. 378 average for Cedric Mullins in the last few games. 252 career average. See if we can knock him out here real quick. Make it an easy 1-2-3 inning. Come on, George. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is high and outside. 1-2 count. Go, George. One-two pitch from Kirby to Mullins. Popped up. Goes behind the plate. 1-2 count. One-two pitch. Chopper towards first base and foul. 1-2 count. Mullins is battling. Pitch is high. 2-2 count. Two pitch to Mullins. Pitch is high and outside. 3-2 count. Count is full. Three-two pitch, and pitch is high, and it's a walk for Mullins. And we know George Kirby doesn't really walk too many individuals. I know going into one of the last starts, he was averaging like 0.5 walks a game, which was like #1 in MLB. So usually it's no walks or one walk, and that's it for George Kirby. So next up, second baseman Jorge Mateo. Maybe we can get a double play here and get out of the inning. Runner goes, throw to second, got him! Cal Raleigh with another runner thrown out. Cal Raleigh, one of the top 3 individuals in MLB in throwing runners out. Let's go. Nice job, Cal. How dare you try to throw on Cal Raleigh? Good ball placement, good catch by Polanco, and a great tag by Jorge as well. There we go. 2 away. Great defense. Finally, we actually get some good defense, Oreo. There we go. That's another part of Cal's game that people don't realize, that how good he is, not only as a leader. Catcher is one of the hardest positions to play in baseball and overall in sports. You know, to be able to go through and manage all the different personalities and the egos, keep everyone light and happy, you know, and to be able to throw guys out defensively. You know, there's a big difference when, you know, Cal Raleigh is there, or it's Sebi Zavala or Mitch Garver, you know, and obviously we're going to have a Harry Ford coming up at some point, as long as we don't trade him away before the trade deadline. So I'm definitely excited to see the development of our guys in our farm system. But Cal should be the catcher for us for the rest of his career. I mean, if you haven't bought in to Cal Raleigh yet, I don't know what else he needs to do besides get his batting average up. But everything else, he's done, and he's exceeded the expectations defensively as a leader. Being a good switch hitter, and on top of that, coming up clutch in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning more than any Seattle Mariner has since he's been there. So again, but batting average could be better. We know he strikes out too much, but you could say that for every player on the Mariners. And hopefully we'll be able to get his batting average up to 250 to 300. And then once that happens, he will be a perennial all-star. Salvador Perez is getting a little older. Adley Rutschman will always get more votes than him. But Cal could be the second catcher, in the near future after Salvador Perez either retires or falls off a little bit. Popped up for Mateo. There we go. Canzone is there. Easy 1-2-3 inning there for George Kirby, baby. Let's go. Go to the bottom of the third, 0-0 Orioles and Mariners. And it wouldn't surprise me if this same type of scenario happens tomorrow, where it might be a pitching duel and it might be a little tough. Corbin Burns, Orioles, Logan Gilbert. I mean, we might have the same type of thing. So, being able to find ways to win, even if it ends up being 1-0 or 2-1, is going to be very critical against this Baltimore Oriole team. Squeezing a couple here for Matt and Megan. Usually I'll wait towards kind of the end of the broadcast, but it's Matt's birthday, so we'll show him some love. I'll get you your little T Swift, and then if there's any specific Oregon players you want to see past or present, just type it in the chat, and then I'll get those mixed in during the commercial break. I got you. Happy birthday, my guy. There you go, bud. Next up for the Mariners in the 7-hole for the first time in his career, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting in the 8-hole, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Haniger. And batting third in the 9-hole, third baseman Hollywood Josh Rojas. Let's go, Hollywood. Let's go, Rojas. And I think that it was smart to be able to, punish Julio. I mean, he hasn't been really playing well. So, again, if you have a lot of pressure, either batting leadoff or being in the 2 or the 3-hole, you might as well move him down, to the 6, 7, 8-hole and have him earn back the position that he lost. You just can't keep putting a guy in the same spot thinking that things are eventually going to turn around. And I know he's been putting in extra work, with Edgar Martinez and with the couple batting coaches that they have. And obviously it hasn't really been working so far. Not a whole lot of doubles or triples, not a lot of home runs, not hitting with a lot of exit velo for power, probably lost some confidence and some swagger. He's been hearing, all of the chitter and all the chatter, that he's not been that good this year. But again, this is one of the faces of the franchise, and hopefully he'll be able to turn it around here in July and August when the weather gets warmer. Judah in the building. What's good, brother? How are you? Yeah, we're going to have a heat wave coming up here from Thursday until Wednesday, where it's going to be 90 to 105 almost every single day. So might have to be able to get the AC unit plugged in maybe a couple weeks early, normally around the 2nd or 3rd week of July. But hell, if it's going to be 90 to 105 for 6 or 7 days straight, that's going to be a little bit too hot for just, box fans or personal fans. They jammed Julio. Easy out. One away. And obviously they know that Julio ends up, swinging at a lot of pitches inside. He gets more pitches inside than any superstar player in baseball. They know how to work him. They watch tape, and obviously it's worked. And hopefully Julio can either change his stance, step back a little bit further, so that way that he's not getting jammed so much in the inside. But another out for the Seattle Mariners. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Mitch Haniger. Slow roller, throw to first, 2 away. Next up, third baseman, Hollywood Josh Rojas. Let's go Hollywood. Easy in the building, what's good? Yeah, I'm going to the Orioles game here on Thursday on July 4th. So I'll be doing the stream here tonight. We'll be doing the stream tomorrow. Corbin Burns and Logan Gilbert. I was really hoping to see Logan Gilbert, but when Brian Wu got injured, it kind of fucked up the start. So we're going to see, Bryce Miller, probably the worst pitcher that we have on the staff, depending on if they bring up Emerson Hancock. But with that being said, that might be the game where you actually get some runs and you get some hits, hopefully. So I don't see a whole lot of runs and hits in these first 2 games for either team. It's a pitching duel in this game, a pitching duel tomorrow, Corbin Burns and Logan Gilbert. But with Bryce Miller, on Thursday, hopefully we can get 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and there's a lot of foul balls, and hopefully I'll end up with a ball or 2 on my way home on the 4th of July. Obviously, if I get 2, I'm going to keep 1, give 1 to my buddy, since he's never got one. If I only get 1, I'm going to give it to him. But I'm going to be shooting for a Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, Gunnar Henderson, or Adley Rutschman. Those are the 4 players that I'm going to be shooting for. So my head will be on a swivel. I will not be doing a lot of heavy drinking. I'm going to make sure that I'm ready to go. Rojas right up the middle. Nice base knock. There we go, Josh. Hell yeah. We got to celebrate every little minor thing when you play against a team like this. Because again, we have a hard time getting runs and home runs, let alone hits. And when you're going against one of the best teams in baseball, you got to be able to celebrate every little hit, even if we only get 4 or 5 this whole game. We got to make sure that we can hopefully get into a rally where we can get more than 1 hit an inning. And if we do get a hit in an inning, it's got to be a home run later in the game. So hopefully we can get a couple base knocks here, and we can end up getting some RBIs before the 7th inning. Next up, J.P. Crawford. Pistol fingers up, tridents up, let's go. 1-0 pitch, J.P. Easy routine play to first. And that's what happens when you go against Baltimore. It's very tough. We leave 1 stranded, end of the 3rd inning, 0-0, Orioles and Mariners. Any other photos from Captain Oreo, DXPO, Megan, Matt? You let me know. Gotcha. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's see if we're at 20 likes yet. We're just approaching the 1 hour mark. And let me know what Duck players you're thinking. If you want Marcus Mariota, LaMichael James, DeAnthony Thomas, or if you want some Dylan Gabriel, obviously for the new regime, you let me know and I got you. Appreciate you, man. I gotta delete some of these, make some room. Let's take a look at the pitching stats here real quick for both pitchers. All right, so first with Grayson Rodriguez. This guy's a stud. He's probably the best no-name pitcher that no one even heard of in the American League. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks, right? He's got a 9-3 record. I don't think many people know who he is. I mean, obviously, if you watch the Orioles every day, you do. But if you don't, this might be the first glimpse that you're seeing of Rodriguez, and you will see him in the playoffs. Big facts. 9-3 record, 3.72 ERA. And then let's take a quick look at George Kirby's numbers. George Kirby, 3 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, and 2 Ks. So he's only 1 K behind. ERA of 3.25, 3.59 for Rodriguez. Let's go. Let's keep it going, Kirby. And obviously, when Kirby is off, we're giving up 1 to 4 runs within the first 2 innings. And when that happens, that's when Castillo is no good, right? Logan Gilbert's no good. Kirby's no good. Wu, Bryce Miller, Emerson Hancock. When you give up 1 to 4 runs within the first 2 innings, they have no chance of getting 8, 9, 10 Ks, and they're probably going to get pulled within the first 4 innings, maybe 5. So far, so good. We're in the top of the 4th. Both hitters on both teams are struggling. Pitchers are doing great. It's going to be a pitching duel today, a pitching duel tomorrow. Only 1 hit each so far, and we're in the 4th inning. So it shows you if you've got a good pitching staff, even if your hitters are very, very good, and we know Baltimore is a much better hitting team than we are, right? But we got to find a way to limit the production and the damage, especially to Gunnar Henderson. Look at that, 287 average, 26 homers, 58 ribbies. He's going to be in the home run derby. And I know that, we were hoping that Julio would have numbers similar to this and like Aaron Judge, but he's nowhere near that. But Gunnar has really taken off this year. I think most people have known Adley Rutschman as the best player on the team, but Gunnar, with a hit right there, is showing that, hey, a lot of people are going to know that this is Adley Rutschman's team, but, down the road, will Gunnar Henderson end up being a better overall player? Tough to say. They both look like they could be Hall of Fame type of players if they keep it up, but I like what I'm seeing from Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman. Nice base knock by Gunnar right up the middle, just like Hollywood Rojas had in the last inning. Next up from Oregon, catcher Adley Rutschman. Nice to be able to see, a player, high draft pick from Oregon State, ended up winning some championships there. And, when you're a top pick and then you end up going to a team that, is a bottom feeder, which what Baltimore Orioles were when he first came up, and then to be able to see the progression that Baltimore has made in these last few years, it's very exciting. And hopefully the Mariners can follow suit. Go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Where are we at on the likes? Are we at 20 yet? We got 57 in the room, so we should be. 30 on the room on the Twitter, or 30 on the YouTube side, 27 on the Twitter/X side. And you guys did it. You guys are the best. We're at 22 likes. We have 8 people that haven't smashed the like button just yet out of the people in the room. But we got to 22. We need 8 more to get to 30. And then we want to be able to try to shoot for 50. We've hit 50 plus in the last 3 streams. Top of the 4th, 0-0, Orioles and Mariners. Runner at first, 0-2 count to Adley Rutschman. Let's go, M's. Chopper. Throw to second, and it hit Gunnar Henderson. Safe. Damn it, should have went to first base there. Jorge Polanco, what are you thinking, idiot? Take the easy out to first instead of trying to go to second for this double play that would have never happened. Ryan Bliss, hello, Ryan Bliss, are you there? Let's go hit Gunnar Henderson in the butt cheek and then get nobody out instead of 1 out at first. That's another reason why Jorge Polanco has got to go. Fielder's choice, runner out. It says Rutschman grounded into fielder's choice at second. Henderson is out at second, supposedly. Okay. Next up is Ryan O'Hearn. There we go. 1 away. O'Hearn flied out to left. Next up for the Orioles, right fielder Anthony Santander. Nice catch by Luke Raley there. Let's go, baby. Let's go. 23 likes. 7 more to get to 30. Good choice, bro. Pickoff play? Hey, I get it, man. When you have other things that you're doing, no worries. What Lego set are you building? Are you building just like a generic Lego set, or is it like something specific like Star Wars or something? And Joey DeCord for the dono. Great choice. $5 holla. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks. Paisley. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $5 holla. We're at 37. There we go. 63 to go to hit the goal. Santander takes a strike. 0-2 count. Tough foul. 0-2 count. Go, George. O2 pitch to Santander. Pitch is high. 1-2 count. All right, I got you guys. Top of the fourth, runners at first and second with one out. Santander pops that one up. Does it stay in foul territory? Out of play. Lucky souvenir for someone in the fifth row. And hopefully that'll be someone like me here in a couple days. But either way, if we get a ball or two, or if we don't get any, I'm still going to hook up my buddy with a nice surprise at the end of the trip. I just haven't decided yet what I want to give him. If I want to give him an Ichiro Suzuki rookie card graded, I already gave him one of those the last time I saw him. Or maybe a Julio auto, graded, something like that. I don't know, Julio rookie card. So we're going to have to wait and see. We'll see at the end of the trip on what ends up happening. But I'm going to do everything in my power, like I always do when I go to games, to try to get at least a ball. I don't want to get greedy. I don't need to get, a lot, but it'd be amazing if we could end up getting one or two. And usually in the areas that we sit, we're in a good spot. So, there usually will be a couple chances. It just depends off the ball is going to be in a row close to us where I can run up and down on the aisle because I have an aisle seat. Or if it ends up being like a line drive, or if it'll be over my head, because I'll jump if I need to. As like, if I got to get a finger on a baseball going over my head, and I'll jump and I'll try to get it. That's what ended up happening with the Julio in 2022 and his rookie year. J.P. Crawford had a baseball that went right over my hand, and it hit my finger, but it went back like about 5 rows after it hit my hand. But then about 7 innings later, that's when I ended up getting the Julio in the 9th inning in his rookie year. So sometimes you just got to be patient. 2-2 pitch. But in that game, when I got the Julio ball, when we went to go see Bobby Witt Jr., I think I had 5 chances in the area that we were sitting, about 15 rows back, right on the aisle. And if I really wanted to be an ass, I could have stepped in front of a couple people and got a couple more. But again, the people that ended up getting the baseball weren't even the people that were in the row. They dropped it, and then usually kids will end up getting it. There brings in an RBI, 1-0 Baltimore. Santander with a nice RBI there. Got runners at first and second. 1 away, 1-0 Orioles. Next up, DHing for Baltimore, Heston Kierstad. Santander single to right. Henderson scored. Rushman to second. We got to stop the bleeding. We can't get this lead up to a very high number, because again, the Orioles, we have to understand them and the Yankees and the Guardians, those are going to be the top 3 teams in the American League. And one of those 3 more than likely will make it to the World Series. And if it's not those 3, then it'll be Seattle, the Minnesota Twins, or the Kansas City Royals. So those are the best 6 in the American League. And then again, Braves, Dodgers, Phillies, Brewers, Padres, and then we'll see if there's another team that ends up emerging later in the season. 0-1-0 pitch on the corner for a strike. 1-1 count to Kierstad. One pitch from Kirby to Kierstad. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Let's get out of this inning, baby. We don't want to be down 3-0. We got to keep it just to 1. All my buddies are like, no bliss. I'm like, no kidding. 1-2 pitch. That one fouled off. 1-2 count. Come on, George. One-two pitch. Pitch is low and into the dirt. Nice job by Cal Raleigh scooping that up. And you got to think, if Cal wasn't so good with awareness, think about how many wild pitches that you're going to have from Castillo, Kirby, Gilbert, Wu, Miller. That if he didn't have that awareness, how many extra runs would have scored and how many runners would have advanced from first to second, second to third, third to home based off a wild pitch that couldn't be handled by someone like Sebi Zavala or Mitch Garver. So, we have to be very grateful for someone like Cal Raleigh that we have as a catcher for the Seattle Mariners. 3-2 count to Heston Kierstad. Come on, Mariners. We got to get Kierstad out. Let's go. 3-2 pitch. Foul back. Almost everyone on Baltimore looks like they're made from like a laboratory. Some of them look very similar to each other as well. Top of the 4th, 1-0 Baltimore. Runners at first and second, 1 out. 3-2 pitch from George Kirby to Heston Kierstad. Come on, George. 3-2 pitch. Got him. Nice job, Kirby. Here we go. 2 down. 3rd K for George Kirby. 3 Ks for Rodriguez on the other side as well. The only difference is Baltimore's got 3 hits now in a run, and we only have 1 hit. Let's go, M's. Next up for the Orioles, 3rd baseman Jordan Westberg. Come on, M's. Yeah, if you got a good farm system, it definitely helps. I mean, this is the brightest future that the Mariners have had, maybe ever, since their existence. They have such a good depth, in the farm system. I've never seen depth like this before, and I've been watching since the 80s. So, but it just depends if we're going to keep those guys and have them develop, or if we're going to trade some of them away for a big name this year or next year, or in future years. That'll be the real big question. Because I honestly do feel that some of the players could be starters that we have in the farm system at one point. Lazaro Montes, Cole Young, Cole Emerson, Harry Ford, and then you still got guys like Tyler Locklear and Ryan Bliss that should be playing every day, in my opinion. And I get it, Ty France and Jorge Polanco are like bigger names, but if everybody's striking out, you might as well just go to the young guys and see what they can do. And then just move those other guys like Polanco and France at DH. Popped up. Can zone is there. All right, we leave 2 stranded, so it ends up being only 1-0 instead of 3-0. George is a little upset, but hey, 1-0 against one of the best teams in baseball. First place team Orioles, first place team Seattle Mariners. I mean, pretty good. You know, you would want it to be around 1 or 0 at this point. So let's see if we can actually bounce back here and give them a little piece of our medicine here, and hopefully we can get on the board as well. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0 Baltimore. Next up for Seattle, 0 for 1, first baseman Ty France. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, Luke Raley. And batting third, 0 for 1, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. Appreciate you. It doesn't look like it based off the voting. You know, maybe if someone decides to not play, but I would assume it would be pitchers. You could say Andres Munoz would be deserving, Logan Gilbert, or George Kirby, would maybe be deserving, but those would probably be the only players that would actually get any type of look. And obviously they'd be a bench person. They wouldn't be getting very much playing time. They would probably get like half of an inning, like in the 7th or 8th or 9th inning, and that would be it. So or they might not even play at all. Sometimes you go to an all-star game, and if you're one of the last guys picked, sometimes you don't even get in, depending on who's managing the ball club and if they have like a grudge against your team or whatever. So, but I would say, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert is the most deserving pitcher, then George Kirby, as far as starters are concerned. Brian Wu would have been in consideration if he wasn't hurt, even though he didn't have enough early starts under his belt. But for the games that he did play, I mean, he played pretty fucking well, right? And then obviously Andres Munoz is one of the closers. So I would say Logan Gilbert and Andres Munoz probably have the best shot. I don't think Kirby has any shot to get in, but you never know unless people decline, and then maybe he gets in. But I would say Gilbert and Munoz would be the ones that I would think that would be the most deserving, at least this year, besides Cal Raleigh, but he'll get snubbed. And then obviously Julio might get invited if he does the home run derby. Otherwise, if he doesn't, then he wouldn't be invited at all. And he hasn't really earned it this year either. It would just be like a fan thing, putting Julio in. But, I mean, hell, if they're going to put Julio in, they might as well put Cal Raleigh in as like the third catcher or something. But, Don in the building, what's good? Appreciate you. You guys have a stellar team, man. You guys are small market like Seattle. And again, you got you and the Yankees and the Guardians at the top. And then you got the sleeper teams, the Mariners, the Twins, and the Royals. So realistically, as long as there's no major injuries to Stephen Kwan, Jose Ramirez, Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, as long as there's not major injuries to those guys or the pitching staff, it would probably be more than likely one of those teams that makes it representing the American League. But with that being said, if there is injuries or there's kind of a slump, going into late summer, early fall, the Royals, Twins, and Mariners are definitely good enough to take advantage if a team ends up going into a slump. So we're definitely 6 deep. I don't know who's going to end up making it, but congrats to your Orioles. And again, they are a very fun team to watch. I'm going on Thursday to watch them on the 4th of July. I only get to go about 1 or 2 games a year. So I'm streaming this one, then I'll be streaming tomorrow. Corbin Burns versus Logan Gilbert should be a pitching duel just like this. And then we got Bryce Miller on Thursday. And I don't know what we're going to get in that game. That one might get ugly where, both teams give up 3, 4, 5 runs apiece. And maybe I'll have a better chance at a foul ball. Appreciate you, Don. One-two pitch from Rodriguez to Raley. Pitches outside. 2-2 count. Come on, Luke. Two-two pitch from Rodriguez to Raley. Got him. And this might be the best pitcher that no one has ever heard of. 9-3 record, ERA of 3.72. Of course, Rodriguez would love to get his ERA into the high 2s rather than into the high 3s. But you can't take away from his record. 9-3. He's getting a lot of run support, yes. But again, you don't want to be able to diminish his skill set. He's a stud. Another K for Grayson Rodriguez. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch goes foul, 0-1 count. 0 for 1 with a fly out in the second for big dumper. Let's go, baby. Hopefully one day we'll be able to figure out how to be able to get back-to-back hits in an inning. Let's go. 1-0 O's. Yeah, rubber match is going to be a shit show. You already know that. You got Rodriguez on the mound, right, with George Kirby, who's our second best pitcher at this point since Wu is injured, right? Logan Gilbert is our best pitcher, and you were going to go against your quote-unquote best pitcher tomorrow in Corbin Burns. So, I don't know what's going to happen. It could end up being where the hitters get extremely lucky and both teams get to 5 runs, and, it ends up being like a 6-5 game, but I highly doubt it. I would assume it will be like this. It'll be kind of low scoring. But once the starting pitching goes out, we don't really know what's going to happen. We'll see what bullpen. Your bullpen's better than ours, more than likely. So you guys still might be able to get some good hits and home runs later in the matchups today and tomorrow. But for Seattle, we're going to have to wait for Rodriguez and Burns to go out. So we're going to have to, see what we can do in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. And hopefully the O's don't have like a 3-4 run lead at that point for us to catch up. Hopefully it's only like 1 or 2. And then maybe we'll have a chance to win 1 game out of 3 in this series. Best case scenario for us is 2 out of 3, and that's probably the same thing that the O's fans are thinking. But if there's a team that would sweep, it would be the Orioles sweeping all 3 games, not the Mariners. Realistically, I feel that we're going to win 1 game or none. That's kind of how I feel. And if we win today, then I think we can win 2 out of 3. But if we don't win this one, we're probably only going to win 1 game. And I don't know if that's going to be tomorrow or Thursday, but we'll see how it goes. We'll take a walk there. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. We'll take that. Rayleigh couldn't get it done. Cal Raleigh will take a walk. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. 0 for 1 with a K. Where's Ryan Bliss? Chopper. Out right into a double play. Good job, Polanco, you idiot. Boo. Polanco, worst player on the Mariners. Boo. Go back to Minnesota. Boo. We want Ryan Bliss. Polanco, liability on defense and offense. When is Scott Servais going to get the hint? He ain't it. And like I said, Polanco should get, if you're going to put Julio in the 7 hole, you might as well put Polanco as a DH player. Have him substitute with a different player each game. And again, I don't think he's as bad as Ty France, but again, Polanco needs to go to DH or AAA. God damn it. End of the 4th inning, 1-0 Orioles. Let's see who's up next here for Baltimore. Next up for the Orioles, 0 for 1, left fielder Colton Cowser. Batting second, 0 for 0 with a base on ball, center fielder Cedric Mullins. And batting third, 0 for 1, second baseman Jorge Mateo. See where we're at on the likes and the subs and everything now. Where we at? Trying to get to 50 likes. We got 32 watching on YouTube, 32 on Twitter/X. We are at 25 likes. We need 5 more to get to 30. There's 32 people in the room, 26 likes. 6 of y'all haven't smashed the like button just yet, but hopefully you will before the stream ends. We need 4 more to get to 30, and then we'll be on our way. Let's go. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. Love you and appreciate you. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are things that a lot of us are going through on the daily or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. Eat less fast food, eat healthier, right? Exercise a little bit more, go for a walk. And if you're not listening to music every day, start doing it. And if you do those 3 minor things, eat healthier, go for a walk and exercise once in a while, right? And listen to music, you'd be really surprised. You'd be able to come out on the other end a better person, and you'll be able to get back on track a lot quicker and win the day. Big facts. Let's go, baby. 1-0 Orioles here in the top of the 5th. Got a few more likes to get to 30, and we're going to be shooting for 50. Big swing and a miss to Kowser. Yeah, but again, we went on a road trip, and everything that we built up, Don, kind of disappeared. We had a 11-game lead like on the Rangers and Astros, and we were sitting pretty. Everything was looking great, right? And then you go to the White Sox, one of the worst teams in baseball, and then the Marlins, and then the Rays, who are halfway decent. They're like a 500 ball club. JP to first, 1 away. And, when you barely can win a game against the White Sox, barely can win a game against the Marlins, and barely can win a game against the Rays, not a good look. And then obviously the confidence got shaken. We already know the Twins are a very good team as well. And it shows that we're a much better team at home than we are on the road. We're 28-14 at home, but we fucking suck on the road. Like, we could literally play all the bottom 5 teams in baseball, and we might only, depending on the time of year, we might only win 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 4. It's sickening. We need to get better. But again, pitching can only hold us so far. Our bullpen isn't very good. Starting pitching, we have a few injuries, with Brian Wu now out of the lineup. We haven't had Brash all year or Santos, but Santos is working his way back as a mid-reliever. And again, Julio's not playing well. We have 0 300 hitters. It's been a rough year. We can't hit. We're one of the worst teams in baseball at hitting. That's considered a top 10 team overall. But pitching can only take you so far. So hopefully at the trade deadline, we'll trade for a couple bats and a couple bullpen guys, and then we might be able to catch up to teams like you and the New York Yankees, as well as the Cleveland Guardians. All ends flied out to left, 2 away. But we'll see where it goes. But it can only, get better from here on out. Nothing there for Kowser. Mullins popped up. Next up for the Orioles, Jorge Mateo. 63 people in the room. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Pitch is outside. 1-0 count. Oh, 1 pitch to Mateo. 1-1 count. Let's go, baby. Mateo popped up. There we go, JP. Hopefully we don't have to wait, Captain Oreo, until the 3rd series that we play against the Padres to get that 3rd win. We might only win 1 out of 3 in this series, unless we win tonight. If we win today, we're going to have a chance tomorrow or on that Thursday matchup. If we lose this, it's almost guaranteed the Orioles are either going to sweep us or we're only going to win 1 game. Then we go against the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays aren't really a same type of a powerhouse team as we were back in 2022. They've kind of dipped a little bit, and they may be sellers at the trade deadline with Vlad Jr. and Bo Bichette, right? So we have to kind of see what we're going to get, even if we're at home, what we get out of Toronto. And then we play the Padres, and the Padres are a sneaky good team. they're not going to be many games above 500. They're going to be floating about around 500, a game or two above or a game or two below. And then at one point, they might be able to get to a point where they're 4 or 5 games above, maybe after the All-Star break. But they got a lot of quality players over there, so you never really can, take them for granted. So I don't really know how it's going to go, but hopefully we can end up winning, 2 games in each series. But this particular series might only be 1. Hopefully we can get 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4, depending on how long that Blue Jay series is. And obviously with the Padres, if we have a 3-game set, hopefully 2 out of 3. Not 1 out of 3 against the Orioles, 1 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, and 1 out of 3 against the Padres. We don't want that. So hopefully we can get to 50 as soon as possible. I agree. We're at 37, 63 to go. Four strikeouts and 2 walks for Rodriguez. Dominic Canzone in the box. Come on, Dom. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Orioles. Big swing and a miss. Finding the count 0-2. I mean, where's Ryan Bliss and Tyler Locklear when you need them? Let's go. Chopper. Throw to first, 1 away. Julio, 0 for 1. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Orioles. 1-0 pitch from Rodriguez to Rodriguez. Chopper towards third. Foul, 1-1 count. Come on, Julio. We're paying you like $1 billion in money. Let's go. Step it up, Julio. You got to get out of your own head. You got to start having fun again. Not putting so much pressure on yourself. Doesn't have to be a home run every single time. But again, the thing is that he hasn't been able to put in the work watching film and being able to adjust to what the pitchers are seeing, what his weakness is. And obviously Julio's weakness is that chasing pitches outside that are out of the strike zone or jamming him inside and having him still swing at those garbage pitches. So at some point or another, hopefully he'll learn. Otherwise, he's never going to turn into a perennial all-star or a Hall of Fame player. And this contract is going to be all for nothing. We have to make sure that, he understands that, this is a big deal. And again, you don't have to be the hero. And in all honesty, no one really sees you as a clutch player anyways. Cal Raleigh is the clutch player. So instead of trying to be like the number 1 player on the Mariners and the face of the franchise, you are a top 5 popular player, but you're playing like shit. This year, you definitely went way backwards and you regressed in your growth from your rookie of the year in 2022 and then last year with a 30-30 season. We need you to get back to that. And again, your exit velo is down, your confidence is down, you're going down in the bottom in the batting order. You just need to start having fun again. I know it's easier said than done, but again, something needs to change with Julio Rodriguez. I mean, I know he's working with Edgar Martinez and a few others, but fucking hey, man, he needs to start working with guys like Ichiro and King Griffey Jr. And there he goes. Punch out to Julio. 2 away. And I'm one of the biggest Julio fans. It's not like I'm a Julio hater, but I got to call a spade a spade. If he's not playing well, we can't just give him, the benefit of the doubt or just push it aside like he's not playing bad or not struggling. For other players, the stats might be a little under average and below average. But for a player that is supposed to be the face of the franchise, King Griffey Jr. 2.0, it's a kind of shocking on how terrible he has been this year. But hopefully, as the weather warms up in July and August, we're going to see the Julio that we paid for. Let's go. Next up, 0 for 1 with a ground out in the third, Mitch Haniger. Big swing and a whiz for Haniger, 1-1 count. .212 average, only 7 homers for Hanny. Had a good April and May, and it's kind of faded in June. Like April and the first half of May was decent, and then the last half of May, and then June, it's been kind of suspect. And I know with some of the numbers, Haniger is one of the lowest rated players with certain statistics like WAR in the outfield in all of Major League Baseball. So obviously we need to replace him with someone that's a little bit more talented and maybe a little bit younger. But if they want to use Haniger as a DH, individual or a backup right fielder, that's fine. But, we already have plenty of players that are struggling. 2-2 pitch to Hanny. Struck him out. 6 Ks from Rodriguez, wheeling and dealing. Got a couple photos up for Matt for his birthday. Go Ducks. Me and Matt are huge Duck fans, and I do all the Duck streams as well, so that people will know me for doing the Seattle Mariners as well as the Oregon Ducks full time. We are very excited to see what Dylan Gabriel will do from the Sooners to the Ducks this season. Going to be exciting. All right, 1-0 Orioles, top of the 6th. The score doesn't surprise me one bit. And I assume tomorrow will be the same. Unless the Mariner hitters get lucky on Corbin Burns, I highly doubt it. And if the Oriole hitters get lucky on Gilbert, it's possible. But we could have a very similar score tomorrow based off this pitching duel that we're getting with Rodriguez and Kirby today. And then obviously Corbin Burns and Logan Gilbert tomorrow. Yeah, me and Matt, we really appreciate the uniforms as well. I try to go to 1 or 2 Mariner games a season and 1 or 2 Ducks games a season. I'm usually live streaming every day, so since I'm doing this full time, and I have been for about 3 years now. But it'll be very exciting with the whole transfer of the Big Ten and the elimination of the Pac-12, which is a little sad for a lot of us here living in the Pacific Northwest. But it's all about that money, and we have to see what happens moving forward here in the Big Ten. I know Oregon will be able to hang with Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State, not a problem. And it'll just be up to Washington and USC and UCLA and some of those other teams to catch up to us. Top of the 6th, 1-0 Baltimore. Gunnar Henderson in the box, 2-2 count to Gunnar. Pitch is outside. 3-2 count. Count is full. Let's see where we're at. We're at 64 people in the building. We're at 28 likes still. We still need 2 more to get to 30. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We need 1 more to get to 30. Punched him out. We're at 29. We need 1 more. to get to 30, and then we can start going to the next goal to 40. Nice punch out there on Gunnar Henderson. Nice job, Kirby. George Kirby, 5.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 Ks. Nice job, George. Next up is Adley Rushman, former Oregon State Beaver. First pick. Popped up into foul territory by Rojas, 2 away. There goes Gunnar. There goes Adley. That helps. Next up for the Orioles, first baseman Ryan O'Hearn. Pitches high, 1-0 count to Ryan O'Hearn, 283 average, 10 homers, and 34 ribbies here in 2024. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see all the different matchups. You know, Oregon against Iowa, Oregon against Wisconsin. You know, and some of the teams that aren't going to be at the top, but they'll be in the middle. You know, Wisconsin, Iowa, Washington, USC, UCLA. You know, it's going to be obviously Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Michigan. You know, those will be the teams kind of at the top, and then you'll have the second tier of teams that'll be battling it out. So for teams like Wisconsin and Iowa, they're going to be the ones that hurt the most with the addition of the Pac-12 teams joining, because we're going to be taking some of their spots, like maybe USC and Oregon. You know, might be taking some of those spots that maybe Iowa and Wisconsin normally would be getting by finishing in like 4th or 5th in the division. So. But obviously, many years, it's usually Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, or Michigan, Ohio, Penn State. But now Oregon will join the fold, and I'm definitely excited to see what we can do. And I think that Oregon can win the Big Ten right away, based off recruiting and who we have on the roster, who's coming back, who we've had coming in to transfer. We have one of the deepest rosters in college football right there with Georgia and Ohio State. So I'm very excited to see the future, and hopefully Oregon can end up winning a natty so all the haters can put that to bed. Oh, you got cool uniforms and cool cleats and cool helmets, but you got no rings. You got no championships. But let's be fair. Out of 100 Division I teams, unless you were Georgia, Bama, Michigan, or Ohio State, you weren't winning a fucking natty anyways. Line drive to first base. So it's like 4 teams out of over 100, 120. Not many teams would even have a chance. Or like if you were lucky enough to have Dabo Sweeney and Trevor Lawrence with like Clemson, like every once in a while you'll have that oddball team that might be good for 5 years and then they fall off the face of the earth, like Clemson did. But now Oregon and Texas are going to end up taking Bama and Michigan spots. They're still going to be good, Alabama and Michigan, but with no Saban and no Harbaugh, that's going to leave a little wiggle room for Oregon, and obviously with, Dan Lanning, as well as Texas with Steve Sarkisian, to maybe slightly get a couple more wins than maybe Bama or Michigan. We would assume Bama and Michigan are still going to end up winning like 9 or 10 games, but instead of going undefeated, maybe Michigan, loses 1, 2 games, maybe 3. And Bama might lose 1, 2, or 3 games. And maybe those teams go like 9-3 instead of going 10-2 or 11-1 or undefeated when they had Harbaugh and Saban. So a little bit more wiggle room, for some of those other teams. And it'll be exciting to see the progression of the Pac-12 team joining the Big Ten. And if the Pac-12 teams do good, the Big Ten might be known as the best conference in college football, even though, the SEC has got, Georgia, they got Alabama, right? And they also have Texas and Oklahoma now with the transfer out of the Big 12 to the SEC. So whose Big Four is going to be the best? Is it going to be Georgia, Bama, Georgia, Bama, Texas, and Oklahoma? Or is it going to be Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, Penn State, or USC? So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But definitely the Big Ten is getting closer to being the king of college football. SEC is always going to be recruiting at a high level. But with Saban gone, Alabama's recruiting is going to go down a little bit. Georgia's will gain ground because Saban is gone. And then obviously Texas is going to get better at recruiting as well. And obviously leapfrogging Oklahoma as the top dog from the Big 12 to the SEC. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 1-0 Orioles. Rojas, there we go. Nice single up the middle in the 9-hole. Nice job, Hollywood. Nice job, Hollywood, baby. 2 for 2. Let's get it. $5 holla. I'll get you some Hawks players. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack. Bang, bang. $5 holla. I'll sprinkle in some of the rookies with some of your favorites. Appreciate you. Yeah, Kevin, Polanco needs to be DH or AAA. I mean, that's pretty much what I feel that is the best for him. If you want to keep him on the roster, put him at DH, and he can mingle around with a couple players at that spot, but he should not be an everyday player. Rojas at third, Luke Raley at left field, and Bliss should be the second baseman. And again, we got Cole Young and Colt Emerson and Lazaro Montes and Harry Ford kind of waiting in the wings as well. So. And hell, I wouldn't even mind Tyler Locklear, getting a chance at first base over Ty France here and there, or even having Locklear come up and DHing, a little bit and seeing what he can do. I don't know. I just feel like Bliss and Locklear have more swag and confidence than Ty France and Polanco. Now, I like France more than Polanco, but not by much. I feel like France fucks up a lot too. So we'll see how it goes. But, I mean, if we want to keep Ty there in that spot, that's fine. But at some point, we're going to have to upgrade that position as well. But Polanco definitely is the most deserving player to get benched. I don't think he's going to get any better. Again, he's a liability on defense. He's a liability in the box. So why are we even fucking playing him every day? I don't care even if Ryan Bliss comes in and goes 0 for 4, like 3 games straight. He'll give you better defense than Polanco will, and it gives you better speed on the bags if we need to pinch hit him, late in a game for somebody, or a pinch runner. So. Next up for the Mariners, Ty France. And hopefully Ty doesn't hit into a double play. I don't like mentioning it, but it seems like Ty France is good for 2 things, hitting into double plays and getting hit by pitches. And he used to be an all-star with Julio in 2022. 2023, he got fat and he got injured, and he hasn't been as good since. And then this year, it started to look like he started to climb out of his funk a little bit, but he's still 231 average, 8 homers and 29 ribbies. Hell, we could get those kind of numbers out of Tyler Locklear for a lot cheaper. So again, France and Polanco to DH. Since Garv is obviously injured right now, bring up Locklear and Bliss, and I think that we would end up having better production day in and day out with those 2 guys. And if you only want to make one move, then make Bliss for Polanco and then throw Locklear in there. But the reason they got Locklear still on the Tacoma Rainiers is they want him to play every day, which I understand. They want him to get reps, so that way if there's an injury to Ty France or someone else, that he'll be ready. So I understand that instead of him just sitting on the Mariner dugout, and playing only 1 out of every 6 games, I understand why they have Locklear on the Tacoma Rainiers on AAA. But what's the excuse for Polanco for Bliss? I don't see one besides just the salary. But it's the salary that we wasted on Mitch Garver and Jorge Polanco. I mean, and again, maybe they thought that they were going to get better numbers, but, with the guys that we have in the farm system, I think that could do better than the guys that we have starting. What does that say? Even some of these guys at single A, high A, double A, triple A, they're raw, and they're maybe not ready to be an everyday player except for Ryan Bliss, but some of these guys deserve a chance to see what they can do. Because I think, I'm not the only one that doesn't like Polanco. To me, this is like the worst Mariner signing that we've had in a long time. I know some people like the Robinson Cano addition, when we overpaid for him. But if we actually are being honest, Nelson Cruz was more valuable, than a Robinson Cano, and we paid him a fraction of the cost. Sometimes you got to be able to look at a player and understand that you fucked up, and it's just not going to be a good fit. 2-2 pitch. To Ty France, pitches high, 3-2 count. Rodriguez having a nice night here for the O's. 1-0 Baltimore. And again, remember, when you end up going against a powerhouse team like this and you have a hard time hitting as it is, chances are it's going to be low scoring until the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, and we got to hope Rodriguez doesn't go past the 6th inning. There we go, another walk. Now, if we can end up getting an RBI here, then Rodriguez will be done. But he was already more than likely going to be done this inning, you would think. Let's look at his pitch count. Where's he at? He's only at 81. So he technically could go another inning after this. Unless we can stretch this inning out and get him to 90, 92, and we can go through a couple more batters, then he'll be done. And then we'll actually have a chance to possibly win this game 3-2 or 2-1 in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. Next up is Luke Raley. Come on, baby. Let's go. We got lucky there with, a few batters at first and second. It's been very limited. We only have 2 hits the whole game. Let's go. Raley. Uh-oh. Right back up to the catcher. Double play, and he fumbled it. It's safe. Wow. How lucky are we right there? They're going to review it. Gunnar Henderson dropped the ball. It looked like he tagged the base, then dropped the ball. But let's see if this ends up being a review. I would assume they're going to review this. Official score ruling is pending here. Let's see what happens. But if we can end up keeping this, bases loaded, we will have a chance. Never had control of it. Nice. There we go. I mean, you're not going to see too many errors by Gunnar Henderson ever, but again, all it takes is just a little lack of focus or a weird bounce of the ball, right? And the throw was low by Rodriguez, so it was his fault. So he bobbles the ball, but when France comes in, right, and then he gets the ball, France's foot is off the bag. So if I'm being real about this and not being biased, I say that he's out. Because he initially bobbled it with the low throw, but then when he got the ball in his hand on his hip, and then he touched the bag, even if it was the side of the foot, France's leg and foot went off the bag and then went on. So, if I was a Mariner homer, I would just be like, oh, safe, fuck it, right? But after looking at multiple replays, by keeping it real and keeping honest about it, I think that he's out at second base. But we'll see what the ruling is called here in the replay review booth, and obviously with these umps that are discussing it. But it's very, very close. But I hope it's called safe. But on that other angle, after he bobbled it, France's foot was off the bag. He has the ball on his hip, and then the side of his foot is touching the bag. So I would assume it's going to be out. See, right here, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. Tie sliding in. He doesn't touch the bag. And then there, he's out. See? And sometimes, you got to keep it real. You can't be biased. And now if France's foot would have slid in perfectly and stayed there instead of being off the bag and then on the bag, he would have been safe. But when he slid in and bent his leg, the foot was off the bag and then he went into the bag. So that's tough. But again, the correct call. Mariners, we need these hits and runs, but we want it to be legitimate. And it looks like they did make the correct call. Now we got runners on first and third with 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Orioles. Next up, the most clutch hitter for the Mariners, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Big Dumper. Unfortunate that, that Ty couldn't have his foot in there straight. But also, let's be honest, how often does Gunnar Henderson bobble a ball at second? Never. So it is what it is. Hopefully we can find a way and, we can get a nice RBI knock here. Big swing and a miss. 1-1 count. DXPO, I appreciate you. Yes, and this is one of the best series in baseball. You got a first place American League East team in the Orioles, first place team in the American League West. I mean, you can't ask for a better matchup for 2 quality teams, 2 playoff teams, 2 of the top 6 teams in the American League, and 2 of the top 10 overall. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate some good NHL action as well. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. And I do Kraken games here, but we also will do the Avalanche, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Dallas Stars, and whoever else is playing if it's a good matchup. But normally my go-to after the Kraken will be Dallas, Colorado, and Vegas if they're playing, because they're fun to watch. And I have to be able to watch the best of the best and see how they compare, to Seattle, because hopefully one day we can be like them. So appreciate you, DXPO. Let me know what you want to do for photos. If you want to do hockey photos, no problem, past or present. So let me know. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Runners on the corners on first and third, 2 out. We had a runner thrown out at second by France. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3-2 count to Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's get to 100 in donos, and let's get to 50 likes. Come on, Cal. Let's go, Big Dumper. 66 people watching. And if this game stays close, we should get closer to 75 to 100 people in the building. But normally Cal will be good in the 7th, 8th, and 9th, not so much in the 5th or 6th. So let's see if he comes up big here. 3-2 pitch. Got him. What a punch out by Rodriguez. And the biggest opportunity for the Seattle Mariners gets ended by a nice pitch by Rodriguez. 4 hits for the Orioles, 2 for the Mariners, 1-0. End of the 6th inning. Let's see how many pitches that Rodriguez is at. He's at 89. So chances are his day is done unless they want to stretch him for one more inning, which might be possible. 1-0 O's. That's tough. But again, Cal Raleigh usually comes up big in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And remember, Mariner fans, out of 1 through 9, the 7th inning is the inning where we get the most hits and the most home runs and the most production. So even though that sucked that we left those 2 stranded right there, right? We're going to have a good 7th, 8th, and 9th, and we're only down a run. We're not down 3 or 4. Hell, even if we were down 2 right now, it would feel like 4-0. If we're down 1-0, it feels like 1 or 2-0, where we actually have a chance. And again, if the Mariners win this game, we're going to win 2 out of 3. If the Orioles win this, they're going to win 2 out of 3, or possibly sweep us. So we got to get this dub, and we got to keep it close as long as we possibly can. See if I can squeeze in a couple photos here. Appreciate you, Megan. The XPO, let me know what hockey players you want, and I got you. If that's the direction that you want to go. And I don't mind it, like I said, I could really care less what people want. Like if we do a baseball stream and people want football or basketball or wrestling or bands or rappers or whatever, I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's whatever your favorite thing is, at the moment, I got you. Little Jay-Z for you, a little Jim Zorn. I'll hook you up with a few more once we get further along in the broadcast. Let's go, Mariner Moose. We need a comeback, baby. Kierstad in the box. Chop foul. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He's DHing today in the 5-hole. Heston Kierstad. Wayne Gretzky, good choice. Oilers Gretzky. Okay, I got you. Yeah, and we're not going to be doing any favors for Yankee fans or fans of the other teams. The Mariners are already having enough problems as it is. And of course, obviously, beating the Orioles helps the Yankees out. But the Yankees got a good enough roster where, as long as you don't have any major injuries, Giancarlo Stanton, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole and company, you'll be able to either win the division or get second place and make a deep run. So, like I said, most people feel, regardless on who ends up winning the division, these might be the 2 best teams in the American League with the Yankees and the Orioles, and then the Guardians are right there with them. And then the 3 below them are going to be the Mariners, the Royals, and the Twins. So, no favors done here. And if we end up winning the game, we're not doing any favors for Yankee fans. We're just trying to take care of our own. Facts. It's already hard enough when you know you're going to be the number one strikeout team in the last 100 years. So hopefully we end up making a couple options at, some hitters as well as some bullpen guys too. Those are really the, pieces of need. Polanco needs to go, to the dugout, to the bench. We need to bring in Ryan Bliss. We need to make sure Luke Raley is the everyday left fielder, right? We need Rojas to be the everyday third baseman. We need to upgrade Mitch Haniger and have him DH and get someone better in right field. And we need to figure out if we're going to trade away some of the farm, we better bring in Luis Robert Jr., Vlad Jr., Bo Bichette, type of player, Pete Alonso. And if we don't, it better be someone solid like Brent Rooker or Brian De La Cruz from the A's or the Marlins. We got to make sure we're bringing in pieces. We have to be able to capitalize. Otherwise, we might end up getting eliminated very quickly into the playoff run. Because if we don't add any pieces, the Twins are going to be better, right? The Royals are going to be better. The Guardians are going to be better. The Orioles and Yankees are going to be better. But if we add a couple bats and some notable names, as well as a couple in the bullpen, I think we're going to be right there with the Guardians, Orioles, and Yankees at the end of the year. I'm not saying that the Twins and the Royals are going to be farther scaled back than everyone else. I mean, we got 6 quality teams that could really go deep this year in the American League. Facts. We got a better depth, I think, than the National League this year. Braves don't have Strider and Acuna, so they're not making it to the World Series. You got Dodgers and Phillies as the best teams, but they have to stay healthy. The Brewers are good this year, but usually they won't go that far in the playoffs, maybe win a series and then fall off. And then the Padres might make the wild card, and they might be able to beat the Dodgers if they play head-to-head. But other than playing the Dodgers or the Phillies, we don't really know how far the Padres can go. They're very streaky, and they can match up with the big boys. So if there was going to be an upset to the Phillies or Dodgers, the Padres would be one of the teams that could do it for sure. Top of the 7th, 1-0 Baltimore. George Kirby still on the mound. Colton Cowser in the box. Yeah, well, small market teams like us, we can't, be like the big boys, like the Dodgers, and the Yankees that can just buy their team. Sometimes you got to build within the farm system. And again, there's a lot of fans, some that are going to be loyal, some that bandwagon, for teams like the Dodgers and Yankees, with all the history and all the championships and whatnot. They got some great players over there, right? But for fans of like the Mariners and the Orioles, we're a small market, and it takes a long time to get good. But once the teams get good, they're very good. Hit right up the middle. Uh-oh. He's going to third. No throw. Good base running there by the O's. Runners at first and third with 1 out. Cowser single to center. Westberg to third. Good speed by Westberg. Next up, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, center fielder Cedric Mullins. And we need a double play desperately here to get out of this inning. Yeah. I mean, it's been a long time. You had the Cal Ripken era, and then obviously you had Adam Jones era, and it's been a minute, you know what I mean? But, after, being kind of crappy for years and years and years, now it looks like the Orioles are going to be one of the top 6 teams for the foreseeable future, like Seattle, And again, I think it was like the Blue Jays and Mariners in 2022, but you could kind of see the Orioles were getting closer, and now the Orioles have taken the Blue Jays spot because the Blue Jays haven't been able to keep up, with teams like Seattle and Baltimore. They were really good a couple years ago, but now it seems like they might be sellers with Bichette and Vlad, and obviously Biggio already left, and he's already on the Dodgers and whatnot. So all those players that they were thinking about, building a franchise around may not be in Toronto after this year. And I know their contracts are going to be up next year. So that's why some of those guys might be moved, because they probably will leave Toronto anyways after next year. So they want to get something for those guys rather than getting nothing. Tough position in sports with the contracts and the money. Mullins pops up. That one goes foul, 0-1 count. 0 for 1 with a walk in the third. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. We're at 31 likes. We need 9 more to get to 40. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. We got 33 on the YouTube side, and then we got 35 on the Twitter/X side. Chopper up the middle. Fuck. Polanco out of fucking position. What the fuck are you doing, bro? Get the hell out of there. 2-0 Baltimore. I haven't seen a player fuck up so much as Jorge Polanco. Motherfucker can't hit. Motherfucker's out of position. The guy can't defend. He bobbles balls. Get his ass out of there and get Ryan Bliss in there immediately. Fuck. That was an easy play that Polanco could have got from JP right there. But out of position. Unexcusable right there. That should have definitely been, we could have got out of that inning 1-0. Way to fuck it up, for your pitchers and whatnot. Way to fuck it up for George Kirby, Polanco, you fucking bum. And I don't get too upset with too many Mariner players. Like I said, I'm going to ride or die. But once I start to see some consistent bad behavior or bad effort or just bad play overall, you're done with me. Like I said, there's going to be a line. And once you cross that line and you're a habitual, fuck up type of player, there's no coming back. And I would think most Mariner fans would agree that Polanco is the worst signing that we've had in a long, long time. Fucking A. Polanco, boo. And if he just was in position, we could have possibly had a double play there. Ridiculous. Well, to be honest, even if Polanco does make that play, the Baltimore Orioles are one of those teams that's good enough to sweep us. I mean, hell, if we go to Chicago and we can only get barely a win against the White Sox, barely get a win against the Marlins, and barely get a win against the Rays, and I get it, it's on the road, it's a little different than being at home. But this Oriole team is the real deal. And if they don't make the ALCS or the World Series this year, you best believe they're going to do it next year or the year after. They're slowly getting better and better and better. And again, the Yankees, are always going to be like the most popular team in the American League. But just because you're popular doesn't mean you're going to win it all. Like I said, we've had the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers beat up on them in the last couple of years. So we'll see how it goes. But, for me, I'm a Mariner fan through and through. I've been watching since 1985. I know I look young, but I'm 42, right? But out of all the teams in baseball, I think the funnest team to watch in the American League, other than watching my own team, the Mariners, is this team, the Baltimore Orioles. And I think in the National League, I think the funnest teams to watch over there are the Dodgers and the Phillies. Those teams are really fun to watch, for what they bring. And the main difference between the Phillies, the Dodgers, and the Yankees and the Orioles don't spend a lot of money. They're a small market like Seattle. The other three spend shitloads of money, right? So salute to the Baltimore Orioles for doing it the way that was meant to be done. But also, you have to have, a good farm system. But at some point, Baltimore will pull the trigger and spend money down the road to try to keep Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman there, right? And the development of those two players has been incredible. And also, the number one thing about Baltimore that gets overlooked is their pitching staff. Their pitching staff is way better than people give them credit for. They can pitch, they can hit. They got a good bullpen, even though sometimes they get a little beat up, right? But everyone's bullpen gets beat up from time to time. And we try not to call, any bias here. Like I said, I try to give everyone their flowers on every stream. It's not going to be just a Mariner stream. It'll be a Mariner stream and an Orioles stream. And I think that's why a lot of baseball, basketball, football, hockey fans, they appreciate this channel, because I'm not going to be a hater, towards the other team. If the other team has got great players, we're going to make sure we recognize that. It's not necessarily about the name on the front, the jersey team name. It's about the name on the back. And you want to make sure you're appreciating greatness wherever it's at. And I really do have an honest, genuine appreciation for this Baltimore Oriole team. And I hope that you guys end up making a World Series and you guys win it all in the next 5 to 10 years. I think it would be great for baseball and great for Baltimore and great for their fans that have been loyal after the Cal Ripken era. It's been a little rough. Same thing with the Mariners. We had 20 plus years, no playoffs. We've had guys like Ken Griffey Jr., right? Randy Johnson, Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, right? But it's been rough. We've had some Hall of Fame players, and we've had some of the best players that have ever put on cleats in baseball that haven't cheated, that have been amazing. Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, Randy Johnson, Ken Griffey Jr., and hopefully one day we can add Julio and Cal Raleigh to that list, right? But it's kind of cool to be able to see, you guys kind of do it the right way and not necessarily grab players that are not needed, at least not yet. But also the reason why is because Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman panned out. If those guys didn't pan out, or only one panned out, let's say Adley Rutschman panned out but Gunnar didn't, then at some point you're going to have to spend the money, or look at the farm system. But Gunnar Henderson has exceeded all expectations, and Adley, was the face of the franchise when you drafted him. So everyone already had those expectations from the Oregon State Beavers to the Baltimore Orioles, and he's already the best catcher in baseball. Now he's got a teammate, to the Bash Bros, to be able to do it together. But again, I don't watch just the Mariners. I watch the league. Same thing with college football, same thing with the NFL, same thing with the NHL. It'll never be just watching a team. I'm watching the league as a whole. That's the only way you're going to understand what's going on. Big swing and a miss to Gunnar Henderson, 1-2 count. Bases loaded. Both is in the game. And hopefully we can keep this to a 2-0 lead, because even at 2-0, it feels like 4-0 when you're going against the Seattle Mariners, because we strike out so much. It feels like we strike out 10 to 15 times a game, and that is not good. One-two pitch to Gunnar from Austin Voth. Pitch is low and into the dirt, 2-2 count. Yeah, I love Kyle Tucker. I love Jeremy Pena. Yordan Alvarez is a beast. Obviously, not a lot of us, have the appreciation for Altuve. He can still be an all-star player. But again, anytime you have controversy, that's going to be the most booed player, not just by Mariner fans, but league-wide. And I think as an Astro fan, you understand that. But I definitely have lots of respect and appreciation for Yordan. And again, my favorite players on the roster are Jeremy Pena and Kyle Tucker. And I've always liked those two. Got him! Backdoor breaking ball, baby. We got lucky there on Gunnar Henderson. Gunnar Henderson's got that RBI ability and that home run ability. That one had some great movement there. Henderson thought it was a walk. Next up, catcher Adley Rutschman. And it's nice that we have someone from Oregon that we can believe in. And even though it is a team in the American League that is a rival, us here in Oregon, we all root for Adley Rutschman. Again, playing for the Oregon State Beavers, winning some chips, being the best catcher in baseball. Salvador Perez obviously getting second with the Boats with the Royals, but his career is almost up. And then hopefully Cal Raleigh can join Adley Rutschman in an all-star game in the near future, but he's got to get his batting average up. 1-0 pitch. Chop towards first base, foul, 1-1 count. 291 average, 15 homers, 55 ribbies for Adley Rutschman. Absolute stud. We're known for Dale Murphy, back in the day with the Braves, and then now Adley Rutschman. Those are probably the two biggest names to come out of Oregon, and we're very proud. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is low and outside. And it's always good when you can get someone from your hometown state and they end up being great, and not only being great, but possibly being Hall of Fame, first pick in the draft. Sometimes first pick in the draft doesn't pan out. Being a catcher, one of the most underrated positions in baseball, the hardest position besides the pitcher, right? I think it is the hardest position in baseball overall, even over a pitcher, and you'll be able to be a good defensive pitcher as well as offense, to have that leadership. Adley Rutschman's got it all. Kip in the building. What's good? And I appreciate that. Pitch is outside. 3-2 count. What's good, brother? Hope things get better for you, bro. Oh, he is, too. Popped up. There we go. We leave bases loaded, stranded, to give the Mariners a chance. Realistically, we're going to lose this game, but hopefully we can get something going here in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And we'll see right now if we're going to have Rodriguez back out, and if he ends up pitching this inning to go over 100 pitches, which might be the smart thing to do, or if they decide to go with a different pitcher, and then if they do that, then we have a good chance to possibly get 1 or 2 runs. But if I was the Orioles in this position, I think I would keep Rodriguez out for one more inning, and go 100 plus. And the chances of us being able to do anything against him isn't looking very good. But if they replace him, that's when we might, get a couple hits and possibly a sneaky home run. But again, the best inning out of 1 through 9 for the Mariners this year in 2024 is the 7th inning. So we'll see what we get here in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Let's go. Kip with a $5. Appreciate you. Thank you, Kip. Every dollar counts. What do you want to do for a photo, brother? You got a particular player you want, like some Jalen Hurts? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang, bang. $5 holla. Just me not being biased and just being honest and real. I think Paul George normally is a good regular season player, but sometimes in the postseason he disappears, right? So if you end up, adding him to a roster that already has another all-star or two there, it can't hurt, but you just got to be able to have all those guys play together and not get injured when it really counts the most. So obviously with George and Embiid, it's a nice 1-2. Well, can both of those players stay healthy, when it matters the most in the playoffs? We'll have to wait and see. But to me, just being real, I think he's a little overrated. I think he's a good player. Normally, all-star player or fringe all-star player. And again, will probably be a Hall of Fame player one day. Depending on the accolades and who they match up against and whatnot. Has had kind of like a Tracy McGrady-ish kind of career, even though McGrady's career got ended short with injuries. But I feel like for George to be able to solidify himself, he needs to win a championship to be able to separate himself from some of the other guys that are considered good or really good players. And instead of, kind of like what Tatum and Brown did with the Celtics this year, because up to this year, those guys were good. Now, you have a better chance of adding to the resume, and the more championships you get, then you're going to have a better chance of being a Hall of Fame player at the end of the day. Ron Harper. And you want Ron Harper on what team? You want like Ron Harper on the Bulls, or where do you want Ron Harper? What team? We're in the bottom of the 7th, 2-0 Orioles. Come on, Mariners. Next up is Jorge Polanco. Should be Ryan Bliss. And again, this guy's a liability defensively and offensively. We overpaid. And every once in a blue moon, he'll make a play. But, one play out of every 10 games is not cutting it. Big swing and a miss. No surprise. There goes down Polanco. One away. Boo! Polanco hearing the boos from the crowd because we don't like you. Sorry, Polo. You weren't good at the beginning of the year. You were batting 150 with JP and Julio. Right, then you got injured. Now you came back from the injury. You're not good. You're not good defensively. You're not good offensively. I mean, the guy needs to be a DH. Play it all. Go to AAA. Next up, Dominic Canzone. And again, we're going to have patience with certain players that are struggling, but certain guys that consistently do shit over and over and over again, sometimes you just got to give up on a player. And I don't know anybody that thinks that Polanco is going to turn it around, especially when you got a guy like Ryan Bliss that's better defensively, better offensively, and is a faster player around the bags who can actually steal bases, which Polanco can't. So everything is looking Ryan Bliss. Why aren't we playing him yet? 1-1 pitch to Dominic Canzone, another player that's struggling, but he's a little bit more likable than Polanco. So again, we're going to have a little bit more leeway for certain players. But, the leeway for Polanco is already gone, Likes up, donate, comment, share. Let's go. Where are we at on the likes? We got 67 people watching. If you're on the Twitter/X side, salute to you. Come over to the YouTube side and chat with us. You have no chat button over there, no like button, no dono button. You can share the stream and watch it over there. But we're at 36. We need 4 more to get to 40. So if you are in the room and haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. 4 more likes to get to 40. Let's go. I want to try to hit somewhere between 40 and 50. Canzone. And that is foul. Not some of the best tight ends, the best tight ends, right? Except for Travis Kelce at Cincinnati, right? George Kittle, right? Sam Laporta, right? Dallas Clark. I mean, the list goes on and on and on if you want me to keep going. TJ Hawkinson. I wouldn't say the best in Noah Fant, because Noah Fant is probably the one player that hasn't lived up to the expectations as the other. But he could be a starter, on a team. He's not going to be as good as the others, but he's not terrible either. But he's not elite either. So 2-2 count to Dominic Canzone. 3-2 count. Count is high. Yeah, Iowa's always known, they're really the only flop that they've had is Robert Gallery on the offensive line. Pitches high and he walked him. That's really the only one that was like a flopper for Iowa. And again, they're going to have some players on defense. They're going to have some guys in the secondary, but obviously tight end is going to be what they're most known for. And even though Iowa, may not win Big Ten championships or even be in contention, right? At least you know that you can develop players from that college and they end up being successful pros. So if you look at it from that point of view, that, there's other teams like Michigan and Ohio State, Wisconsin, and now Oregon and a few others that are there that, are going to take the spot. But even if you end up being like 4th or 5th or 6th in the Big Ten, but you end up developing some of the best pros, that's almost just as good as winning, the division. I mean, obviously winning the division is great, and, trying to be able to win your bowl games and win a natty, that's the ultimate goal. But also, too, you don't want to be known as a college that's got all these great players, but they end up being busts in the NFL. So at least that, Iowa is known for, like, if you end up going from Iowa to the pros, you're probably very gifted, you're very well disciplined, you're going to be a decent player, and if you play tight end, you probably will end up being a Pro Bowl, All-Pro, or maybe even a Hall of Famer, depending on what team you go to. Facts. Bottom of the 7th, one out. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, Julio Rodriguez. My boy said Ron Harper. OG Ron Harper and young Ron Harper. Yeah, Harper had some substance abuse early in his career, and that's why they got rid of him. But he ended up having a pretty successful career after that. Bottom of the 7th, 2-0 Orioles. Runner at first, one away. Julio tried to go for the double play. Got the fielder's choice, runner out. Rodriguez grounded into a fielder's choice to the shortstop. 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, Mitch Haniger. Cano in the game here. Going against Haniger. Rodriguez won 104 pitches. They got a 2-0 lead, which feels like a 4-0 lead against the Mariners. Lauren in the building. What's good? Big swing and a miss. 0-2 count. We need a little bit of this, bro. We got to make sure that we don't get swept by the Orioles. We got to try to win at least 1 out of 3 at the very least. The goal, 2 out of 3. But again, tomorrow is Corbin Burns versus Logan Gilbert. So it might be the same exact score that we're looking at right now, where we're going to be looking up at a deficit, trying to be able to catch up to a superior team than us. And then the game that I'm going to on the 4th of July is Bryce Miller. So again, that one might be a shit show where, we might actually get some hits and runs in that game. But the hits and runs might only be on the Baltimore side. So we'll wait and find out. How you doing, Lauren? Appreciate the like and the share. Appreciate you, Lauren, supporting with my posts in the morning, as well as the live streams on Twitter/X and my Instagram posts. I appreciate that. I recognize it. Shout out to Sarah, Megan, True North, Trident, Matt, and Lauren on the Twitter/X side. We got 69 people in the room. Try to get to 40 likes before the stream ends. Let's go, baby. 32 on one end, 37 on the other. Where are we at? We're at 39. We need one more like to get to 40. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, yeah, baby. We just hit 40. 10 more to hit the goal to get to 50. Last 3 streams, we've hit 50 plus. Let's see if we can make it 4 streams in a row of 50 plus. Let's go. We're at 57, 43 to go. Three-two pitch. Big swing and a miss. There goes Haniger. Got to get a replacement for him. End of the 7th inning, 2-0 Baltimore. But we will be live tomorrow. The game will be at 7 o'clock Pacific. Corbin Burns, the Orioles' best pitcher, versus the Mariners' best pitcher, Logan Gilbert, will be amazing. And then again, I'll be off to Seattle on Thursday on the 4th of July. I hope you guys have a great one. And then we'll be back on Friday, and then we play the Blue Jays at home. So it's going to be very exciting. Hopefully I end up with a souvenir or 2. We're going to have to dig deep. We're going to have to go some old school Lou Piniella. Come on, Lou. We need good Lou Piniella vibes. Yell at a ump, throw a base, get ejected. Let's go. Come on, Lou. Next up for the Orioles, 1 for 3, first baseman Ryan O'Hearn. Batting second, right fielder Anthony Santander. And batting third, DHing for Baltimore, Heston Kierstad. Colin Snyder coming into the game. Yeah, hopefully a Mariner win on our way back. That would be great, It's going to be tough. I mean, don't be surprised if we end up only winning 1 or none against this powerhouse Baltimore Orioles team. I'm hoping that, best case scenario is 2 out of 3. But again, we're going to have to earn them, and it's not going to be easy. The Orioles are very complete. They can hit, they can pitch, they got a bullpen. They got two of the best players in baseball right now with Gunnar Henderson and Adley Rutschman. Pitching staff is solid. It's going to be really rough. But I still think that, there's still a chance here. But it's going to be very difficult here against the O's. Yeah, Seattle does. Pacific Northwest, we got some really good fans. No matter how good the team is doing, they could be literally in last place and we'll still show up and we'll still show the passion and the love for the team. T-Mobile is beautiful. 2-2 pitch. Chopper. And that stays fair. Shit. O'Hearn with a double. Unbelievable. At this point, if we can't get our shit together, we're going to end up losing 2-0 or 3-0, where we might not even be able to get another hit or a run. We're only at 2 hits for the game. Not good. And tomorrow might even be worse with Corbin Burnes on the mound. Burnes is even better than Rodriguez. You guys are getting into your Google bag. Copy and paste. Google. Stats. Google. Google this, Google that. Google here, Google there. Top of the 8th, 2-0 Baltimore. Oh, 1 pitch to Santander. Chopper. Hold the runner, throw to first. 1 away. Next up, DHing for Baltimore, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, Heston Kierstad. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. We're at 41 likes. We need 9 more to get to 50 to hit the goal. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. And if you're watching on Twitter/X, hop over to the YouTube link side, smash that like button, and help us out. Top of the 8th, 2-0 Baltimore. Runner at second, 1 away. 0-1 count from Snyder to Kierstad. .273 average, 2 homers and 8 ribbies, and limited action for Kierstad. Chops it towards first base, foul. 1-2 count. All right, baby, I'm feeling it. Rally time Mariner, he believes it. Let's go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus stack. Bang, bang. We need a rally, baby. 8th and 9th inning, baby. Let's go. Mariner moves. He understands. He got the message. Pitch is high, 2-2 count. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for a photo. I got you. Rally time, baby. Come on, baby. Kierstad, about to go 0 for 4. There we go. Keep that runner stranded. There we go. 2 away. Next up for the Orioles, a sleeper hitter, third baseman, Jordan Westburg. Brian Woon, a good choice. Unfortunate that he ended up getting injured, because I was slated to go see Logan Gilbert on Thursday, but since he got injured, they moved the Castillo start in the previous series. So that's why we have George Kirby today, Logan Gilbert tomorrow, and then I get to see Bryce Miller, which would probably be the pitcher that I would least likely to see out of the 5. But again, that also means maybe more opportunities for foul balls because, it's not like Bryce Miller is going to have 10 Ks against the Orioles, so he might only have 5 or less. So that might be a good thing for me going to the game on Thursday. More opportunities for foul balls in my section. 0-1 pitch. Westberg, chopper to third. Rojas to France, got him. We leave one stranded. Now we need to get a 1 run in the 8th and 1 run in the 9th, or 2 in the 8th or 2 in the 9th. Let's go. 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Orioles. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Mariners. It's not going to cut it. I mean, even 2 runs is not enough. Right? You need to get 4 runs or more in most baseball games, but 2 hits total? Golly. Not good. But you got to give credit to the Orioles. They are one of the best teams in baseball. They're first place right now, even over the Yankees in the American League East. And the Orioles, or the Yankees or the Guardians, most likely will represent one of those 3 teams, Orioles, Yankees, Guardians, will more than likely represent the American League, unless it ends up being the Twins, Royals, or Mariners taking advantage of injuries of the top 3 teams in the American League. All right, here we go. At least we're starting it off where we need it to. Leading off for the Mariners in the 9-hole, probably the only hitter that's been doing anything for us, the guy that has both hits for us, Hollywood Josh Rojas. Everyone else has a donut. Fucking A. Batting second, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And batting third, first baseman Ty France. I don't know why the hell we put Ty France in the 2-hole. Not smart, but again, I'm not Scott Service. So, but again, Polanco shouldn't be starting ever again. Rojas should be the everyday third baseman. Rayleigh, everyday left fielder. Haniger shouldn't be playing every day either. We need to figure out a way to get Locklear and Bliss into the everyday starting lineup if we actually want to start competing. Having Locklear at first or DH or Bliss over Polanco at second base gives us a better chance to win every day. And then moving France to DH, over other guys would be better, That way that you at least get the Ty France bat once in a while, and then you have the other guys being able to develop their skills. Miss Brian Wu. Demo pinch hitting. Wish he didn't get injured. Wu injury prone in the last couple years. And he could just find a way to stay healthy. I mean, hell, after Logan Gilbert, he was our best pitcher overall. And now Logan ended up taking back the spot because of the injury and a couple rough starts, but started off 3-0 with an ERA of 1. Not bad for a guy that's supposed to be the 5-hole spot, the 5th in the rotation. Demo pops up, 1 away. And why would you have Demo hit for Hollywood Josh Rojas if he's the only guy that has 2 hits for the whole game? Why would you do that? Scott Service, not very smart. If you want anyone to pitch hit and you want Demo to come in, you do it for anybody but Hollywood Rojas, dumbass. Next up, J.P. Crawford, especially when Rojas is the only guy that has both hits for us. It's not like we have 10 hits today. We have 2, and both of them from Hollywood. Stupid. Come on, JP. Pitch gets away from the catcher. Adley Rutschman, 1-2 count. Come on, JP. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's go, baby. Pitch is outside, 2-2 count. 38 more to get to a hundo. to hit the goal. 10 more likes to hit the goal. We're at 40, 42 now. 8 more to get the goal to hit 50. Chopper. Throw to first, barehanded, 2-1. And I don't know what Scott Service was thinking by putting Ty France in the 2-hole. And I get it, you want to move Julio down and punish him and whatnot. But if you're going to move someone in the 2-hole, you put Hollywood Rojas in the 2-hole, not Ty France, dummy. I don't understand, how, fans of a team can run a team better than a manager. And I get it. You want to be able to give equal playing time to certain guys, but you have to be able to look at the matchup, and you have to be able to look at what's going to give us the best shot to win. And Rojas can hit from the 9-hole. You can obviously keep him there. He's proven that he can hit 300 to 350. He was one of the only players this year to crack 300. We have 0 300 batting average players this year, right now, 0. So, Ryan Bliss and Hollywood Rojas were really the only ones that were close. And Rojas now is at 260. That's terrible. And that's number 1 on the roster right now that's playing. That shows you how bad the Mariners are at hitting, where our number 1 guy is hitting 260. That's fucking terrible. Batting 200 to 210 as a team. Last year it was 220, and I thought that was bad. Now we're even worse. They better pull the trigger on some fucking bats. Ty France. Back. And caught. What a heck of a play there by the Orioles outfield. This might end up ending 2-0 as a final. Unfortunately, I hope not, though. And it's not going to get any easier tomorrow. You thought Rodriguez was tough today. Corbin Burns is fucking pitching tomorrow. And yeah, we got Logan Gilbert where we might feel a little bit more comfortable than, George Kirby. But we're only down 2-0. If we could just get a little bit of production with our pitching, it's not like the Orioles are at 8-0 right now. But again, anytime a team scores on us, you multiply it by 2, and that's what it feels like that we're down by. 2-0 is essentially being down 4-0 to another team. Tough. Next up for the Orioles in the top of the 9th, 1 for 3, left fielder Colton Cowser. Batting second, 1 for 2 with an RBI and a base on ball, center fielder Cedric Mullins. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball, second baseman Jorge Mateo. Let's go Mariners. Come on, Lou. Come on, Woo. Get healthy, bud. And it sucks, if we actually could hit, imagine what the records would be for Castillo and Gilbert and Miller and Wu, and Kirby. If we could just hit, everyone would have an above 500 record, and it wouldn't be just barely above 6-5. It would be 3 games above 500 or more. You'd have records 8-5, 7-5, 9-5, something like that, instead of all our guys, around 500. Yeah, Polanco, boo. Not over till it's over, baby. We know that. We're at 44 likes. We need 6 more before the stream ends. If you're in the room and haven't smashed the like button, please do. We need 6 more to hit the goal for the stream, and that'll be our 4th straight stream with 50. I think we can do it. Especially if we end up getting 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th and it goes to the 10, it goes into extras, then I know we'll definitely get it because more people will come in the room to see that we made a rally. But if it ends up staying like this, then we have to hope for a decent game tomorrow, and then hopefully on July 4th we can put up some runs. Top of the ninth, 2-0 Baltimore. And if you're just tuning in the top of the fourth, Anthony Santander single to right. Henderson scored. Rushman to second, 1-0 Baltimore. And then in the bottom or top of the seventh, Mullen single to center. Westberg scored. Cowser to third, 2-0. And here's another base hit. Pitching, boo. Now the Mariner fans are booing. Pitching bad, hitting bad. And normally the pitchers aren't going to get booed that much. But again, you're going to start to see more fans boo Polanco, and they're going to have more fans start booing the bullpen. I mean, if that isn't a sign to the ownership that we need to start spending some fucking money for a couple bullpen guys and a couple hitters, I don't know what is. Because the Mariner fans normally don't boo. Even if it's terrible, even if we're getting fucking rocked, like 10-1, you don't really hear the fans boo until they've hit a boiling point. Especially when we see our lead dwindling. Of being in first place, because if we don't make moves at the trade deadline, it is a very realistic possibility that Astros and Rangers catch up and pass us, and we don't want that to happen. We want to make the playoffs, and we want to win the AL West. We don't want the Astros and Rangers to fucking catch up, but if we don't make any moves, they will, and even if we do make moves, they may catch up, but we want to make sure we're building this team in the right direction. Come on, Mariners. Now we just have to figure out if Bowman can get us out of this inning. And I don't really like Bowman either. There's certain guys in the bullpen that I like Andres Munoz and Matt Brash, and I like Stanek. But as far as, Bizzardo and Saucedo, Bowman, I don't like these guys. I don't know about some of y'all Mariner fans if you like them, but, a lot of these guys are very hit and miss. And most of the time it's a miss. It's like they do good 1 out of every 4 opportunities, and that's not good enough if you're coming into a game, especially if we're tied or we're down. But I'm not a fan of Bizzardo. I don't like Saucedo. Not a fan of Bowman either. If you're Matt Brash, I like you, right? And he's injured for the whole year, so right? Really, Stanek and Munoz are the only ones I like in this Los Bomberos. 62 doll hairs, 38 to go to hit the goal. Let's go. 6 more likes to 50. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. All right. Thank you so much for your support. Love you. Appreciate you. I hope you feel better. Chopper towards third. Foul from Cedric Mullins. And when we score 3 runs or less, our record is terrible. It's like 4 or 5 wins and 30 to 40 losses. So again, getting 0 or 1 or 2, even 3 doesn't really cut it. Now, the only thing that helps us when we get to 3 is if it ends up being a 1-run game, which we are pretty good at this year. So if it ends up being like 2-1 or 3-2, we might be able to squeak out a couple wins that way. But unless we get 4 runs or more, almost every single time that it plays out, we lose. So 2-2 pitch from Bowman to Mullins. Pitch is high, 3-2 count, stolen bag. Got him. And a good throw to J.P. Crawford, not Jorge Polanco, because Polanco can't fucking catch, even though he ended up getting one of the guys out from a Cal Raleigh throw earlier today. Nice job by JP by stepping up there and Cal throwing to JP, not Polanco. Even the players know that they can't trust Polo. Nice job, JP. Good job, Cal. Cows are 1 away. And that helps from them not extending the lead any further than it could be. 2 base stealers thrown out tonight. Cal Raleigh, one of the top catchers in baseball, throwing out base stealers. He's going to be like number 1, number 2 almost every year. 3-2 pitch. Popped up. Should be an easy out here. Polanco, boo! At least he catches it. Sarcastic clapping by the Mariner fans. Go away. Next up for the Orioles, second baseman Jorge Mateo. Get out of this inning. And we have to have a rally. Chopper towards third, foul. Oh, 1 pitch. Chopper towards third. 0-2 count. Now, we definitely made a mistake with Polanco and Garv. Should have never got those players. I would have been much better of us not spending any money and bringing guys up from single A, high A, double A, triple A. Cole Emerson, Colt Young, right? Harry Ford, Lazaro Montez, and I know some of those guys aren't ready yet. But like Bliss and Locklear, I would have rather had those guys play every day, but instead of grabbing Polanco and Garv, waste of money. Big swing and a miss. I mean, if that's what you get for 10 or 11 million for a year for a guy like Polanco and Garv, no thank you. Hell, based on how they've been playing this year, they don't even deserve $1 million. They deserve like $500,000, 200,000, triple A, fucking A. All right, let's go to the bottom of the ninth. Let's see if the Mariners can get a rally. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out, baby. Try to get to 50 likes and 100 in the donos. And like I mentioned multiple times in the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are things that a lot of us go through on the regular or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. If you're eating a lot of fast food, cut back on that. Eat a little bit healthier. Exercise. If you're not doing it at all, go for a walk once in a while. It'll make you feel great, okay? And then another thing you can do is listen to music. I feel if you listen to music every day and you listen to it for more than a half hour a day, it really helps on the mental health. And then it'll help you get back on track and you can win the day. Big facts. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks, Luke Raley. Batting second, catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And batting third shouldn't be Jorge Polanco. Hopefully they're smart enough to put in Ryan Bliss, and then hopefully Bliss can get a chance to bat. Because I don't know how many more games that they're going to play with Polanco before the fans start booing heavily. And again, I feel kind of bad for Polo, but again, if you don't play well, and there's other guys that are waiting that are, in AAA or on the bench that are better than you, at some point you got to pull the trigger, and it has to, stop being political. And, we paid him $10 million. I don't give a fuck if you paid him $10 million, $50 million, $100 million. Hell, Julio, we gave a $500 million to, and he's in the second hole. So what's the excuse for Polo, Doom soundtrack, nice. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus. Bang, bang. Duke Nukem, 3D, Doom, Wolfenstein. I used to play all those. Appreciate you. DX to go. 36 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, stack to stack, baby. Bang, bang. Appreciate you, brother. Let's go. We need a rally. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's go, baby. Let's get to 50 likes. Yeah, Abreu, you got to cut him. If you're not playing well, you just have to be able to take that L and say, fuck, we fucked up. And Luke Raley to first. Here we go. Tying run to the plate, baby. Just on the front part of the back leg. We'll take it. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. With one swing, he can tie this game up. He's electric. He's our best clutch hitter on the Seattle Mariners overall, and especially in the 7th, 8th, 9th, and extra innings. It's Cal Raleigh. But you got Craig Kimbrell on the mound, and he ain't going to make it easy. Come on, Cal. Come on, Cal. Let's go, baby. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1-1 count from Jake Crimbo to Cal Raleigh. Let's go, baby. We need one of these. ASAP. Crowd will go crazy. 1-1 pitch. Pitch is high. Good eye by Cal. He doesn't swing at garbage like Julio does. But again, no superstar player gets pitched inside more than Julio. At some point, Julio's got to learn. Come on, Cal. 2-1 pitch from Kimbrel to Raleigh. Pitch is high. 3-1 count. Hell, we might be able to tie the game up even if we don't swing. We might just get walk, and we can get bases loaded and then just walk a runner in. Let's go. I don't even think Polo deserves any photos. But we will. 3-1 pitch. Oh, he crushed it. That would have been a home run. That would have tied the game up 2-2, and he crushed the shit out of that one. And it just went towards the foul pole. Fuck. Cal Raleigh. Fucking A. Man. Let's go, Cal. Bottom of the ninth, 2-0 Baltimore. Runner at first, no outs. 3-2 pitch to Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Got him. Shit. One away. That pitch, that last one, that was it. He needed to get a homer there. Next up, 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Why not put in Ryan Bliss to pinch hit right here? Are we stupid? I guess we are. Jorge Polanco. The only way that Polo's going to be a hero today is if he ends up going yard. And for his case, he might need to get on the good side of Mariner fans, including myself and Captain Oreo and everyone else. I mean, he definitely is the probably most disliked player on the Seattle Mariner roster by a lot. So 1-0 pitch to Polanco. Wild. Go, go, go. Luke Raley to second. Here we go. Runner in scoring position. Hit by pitch. Polanco to first. Oh, what do you know? Ryan Bliss finally gets in. No, it's Dominic Canzone, not Ryan Bliss, you stupid-ass announcer. Bliss is coming in to pinch hit or pinch run, and that's what he is. He's pinch running. Okay. I was going to say, well, let's get Bliss in the game, damn it. But they're going to have him run. Bliss is running for Polanco. Why not have him bat for Polanco? But at least we got Ryan Bliss on second base, and that's exactly who you would want. Just like Sam Haggerty, you want that speed on the bases. And obviously Haggerty went back down to AAA and ended up having a season-ending injury. So you're not going to get him back up into the lineup at all. But Ryan Bliss is probably the fastest Mariner on Seattle. Let's go, Ryan. We got runners at first and second. And again, we are a very, very good 7th, 8th, and 9th inning team. Let's go, Ryan. Next up for the Mariners, Dominic Canzone. 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K. Let's go, Dirty Dom. Come on, Mariners. Oh, why did he swing at that? Why did he swing at that garbage dog? Come on, Mariners. Keep digging. Fuck. Run to first. 2 away. All right, Julio has a chance to be a hero. Coincidentally, the first time that he's ever been in the 7-hole. Can he be a hero here? And to win the game with a walk-off 3-run homer, that'll definitely get everyone on Julio's good side. Let's go! Julio! 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 I mean, if you're talking about a moment that we need that electricity, it's fucking now. We haven't had too many walk-off homers. And even if he doesn't homer, get an RBI, okay? Julio pops that one foul. 0-1 count. Come on, Julio. It's been a while since I've actually hated a player on the team, you know? I wasn't really big on Robinson Cano, with that contract that we gave him. But I didn't hate him the way that I hate Polo. Like, he's brand new to the team, so it's kind of weird for me to dislike a player so much. But again, if you're not going to be able to defend or hit, why the fuck are you playing? Bottom of the 9th, runners at second and third, 2-0 Orioles, and with one swing, Julio can tie this game up with an RBI double or win the game with a home run, a walk-off. 1-1 pitch. Julio crushes that one foul. 1-2 count. Come on, Julio. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. Game on the line. We need 4 more likes to 50. Get there. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. That one chopped foul. We're at 47. We need 3 more people that are in the room. We got 44 on the tube, 44 on the Twitter/X. Julio the hero or the 0? 1-2 pitch, and there it is. Can't count on Julio Rodriguez in the 7-hole. Can't count on him in the 1-hole. Can't count on him in the 2-hole. Not a reliable clutch hitter late in games, and that's very disappointing. Final score, Baltimore Orioles 2, Seattle Mariners 0. 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Baltimore. 0 runs, 2 hits, 0 errors for Seattle. That is not going to get it done against one of the best teams in baseball. We play tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific. I will be here, right? Corbin Burns, their best pitcher, going against our best pitcher, Logan Gilbert, and hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Matt, happy birthday. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better, and I'll be live at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then on July 4th, we'll have the day off because I'm traveling to Seattle for the game at 1 o'clock Pacific. And then we'll be back on July 5th when we have a home game against the Toronto Blue Jays. Shout out to all the people watching on Twitter/X as well as YouTube. And if you are in the room, please smash the like button for your boy so that way we can get to 50 for 5 straight streams and see where we're at. We're at 47. We are so fucking close. So hopefully by the time the stream ends, we'll get a couple people to hop in to smash that like button. But we're at 47 likes. And we didn't hit the goal on the donos, but we had some people participating, and that definitely means a lot. So I appreciate you very much. DXPO, Judah, Matt, Captain Oreo, and the rest. I love you and appreciate you. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.